I'm actually right now German. I am German, yes. German language teacher since COVID, but exercising and sports remain my passion for sure every single day. So let's check out how that looks like, how I train people, and what I do there. Steady. Yeah, take your time. This is your pace. Looking good. Keep going. Hi, I'm Chris Bachmann. Learn up to 100 body weight exercises and variations and 8 intensities in 1 year. Get fit fast. And every workout is different, so you will never get bored. These are all simple bodyweight exercises that you can do anywhere you like. At the gym, at your place, at work, outside, or even while you're traveling. Hey, you haven't worked out for a while? From the very first session onwards, you will get results. You will get fitter, stronger, and faster. Just give it a try. This program is for all fitness levels, from beginner to advanced. Why don't you ask your best friend to join you to work out with you? I will look after you. Let's get started. This year can be your year. Request the free trial right now. Yeah, that's a nice video, right? I like that. Don't go on that website, it's down. Okay, as I said, I've done that for many years, and that was the website back at the time. But you can now go on my Facebook and Instagram for sure. Yeah, so as I said, in Albufeira since 2020. I'm also, and that's why I believe, invited by Gonzalo, I'm the founder of Albufeira Social, or Global Social and Meetup. Beginning of the year, we started a little group to meet up and doing events. You guys, you're very welcome to join our Facebook page if you are staying in Albufeira longer or coming back. Yeah, so that's for the digital nomads and people living here. And yeah, we're having fun, right? Petra. Okay, and look at the corner. That's nice, right? Something free at the end, so stick around. And we can start the, let's see how that goes. Here we go, perfect. Just a few things about me. 15 years of fitness experience as a trainer. Yes, I do CrossFit as well, like Gonzalo. Who else is doing CrossFit here? Hands up. There are a few hands there. Wonderful. I'm also a CrossFit level 1 coach, and I do CrossFit here in Albufeira. Please, if you have not tried, give it a try. Usually the first session is free. Free stuff is good, huh? Yeah, I trained in more than 50 boxes worldwide while I was traveling. So traveling is my passion, like you guys. 15 different countries they were. I'm a marathon runner. Right now I'm preparing for the Valencia marathon beginning of December. I'm building up my mileage, which means I have to run 100 kilometers this week. 100 kilometers besides this conference, so I have to fit that in. Marathon training is a tough sport. Then I lived in 6 different countries, so I'm kind of a digital nomad as well. Which were France, New Zealand, Thailand, Laos, Germany, obviously, and now here in beautiful Portugal. Speaking several languages there, starting with Portuguese. Not so good there, so don't test me. Sports and commercial model in Auckland for 3 years as well, and I was the winner of 150-kilometer ultramarathon race in 2016. So far, that is 50. This is 3 days, and each day 50 kilometer. Okay, so it's not non-stop. It's okay then, right? You start every morning, recover, sleep, and start again 50 kilometer. That's nice. Complete the 4,000 burpee challenge. What's a burpee? You guys know what it, come on. Yeah. Oh, also, okay. Gonzalo, you are next. Watch it, watch it. So 4,000 burpees in 10 days, that's an average of how many a day? 400, yeah, I know, you got this. So that takes about an hour, right? Mr. New Zealand 2013, I don't know why. There was not much competition there. Huh? And also personal trainer of the month for the Fitness New Zealand magazine. Let's talk about the habits. Oh, so when I see that, I want to exercise, guys. So why exercising? Yeah, I like to be balanced, and I like to have high energy throughout the day. I want to feel good, and I also sometimes like motivation. I'm like, I gotta go for a run. I don't want to. I'm tired. But just the first 5 minutes are important, right? So once you're going, then you start feeling better, yeah? And then after the run or whatever sport you do, then you feel really amazing, right? So, yeah, and I like to be outside. I like to be in nature, be with friends. So these are all good points why exercising is so good, yeah? I mean, nothing is new here. This is not rocket science. So I just want to refresh your minds how that goes and to do that regularly, very important. And he's like, what should I do? I don't know. What are my options? Yeah. So you see a little list. So I started with athletics as a kid. Then I started to play football, obviously in Germany. Then I started to do long distance running. And when I was 16, I was first time in the gym. Then I tried taekwondo. I tried capoeira, so a little bit less fighting, a little bit more dancing, yeah. And I also tried triathlons, because I was thinking, I'm a good runner, so let's try it. But I'm a terrible swimmer. So you guys, you know the pack of swimmers doing freestyle? They are ahead, right? And then the breaststrokers came, right? And I was with the breaststrokers, but I did freestyle. Yeah, you got this? So, very important, and you have to enjoy the sport you do, the exercise, and having fun, okay? Don't do anything which is not fun, okay? This is here in Albufeira. Oh, well, maybe. So that's it, right? So the girls, they're working out together. This is what I want to see. So hit up your best friend and say, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. at the beach. Let's go, okay? So I always encourage you to work out with your friends, with your family. It doesn't matter, partner, co-workers, right? If you have a pet, or if you don't like company, then just do it by yourself. Okay, so next thing is location and time. So this guy, so he picked the location. It's the gym. And look at him, how he's running. And this is like an air runner. So this is not even a normal treadmill. You see that? This is this drives by his feet and legs. So try this. It's tough. He's got this. So depends on your schedule, right? Time-wise. Well, I know that you're not working 9 to 5 anymore. So you can work out between your work sessions, I believe. And the location is also very important. And I always say, choose a location which is very close to your home, so you're not like, I gotta go now to the gym, which is 20 minutes away, there will be traffic. No, don't do that. 2 minutes walking to the gym, and you'll be fine. Oh, this guy, huh? I like him. He's my cousin. Oh my God, he loves it. Look at him. Oh my God, and his shirt, right? And he's training hard and he loves it. That could be you. So yeah, so here, headline, what are my goals? And he's got a goal. What is his goal is, I want to be strong, I want to look good, look at my guns, right? So think about goals, why you want to exercise, right? And don't say, oh, I need to lose 5 kilo, maybe more. I want to look like a top model, right? I want to look like this. Don't say that, yeah? So better goals here, for example, are let's do 2 to 3 times exercising a week, every week. So create habits. That's important, guys. And you don't have to train so hard like this guy, yeah? So just be active, be outside, move. Another goal could be 60 minutes running non-stop. Who can do that? Who can run for 60 minutes non-stop? Hands up. Yeah, not too many, guys. Not too many. So all of you can do that. After a month, build it up. Start with 5 minutes, jogging, easy, right? Just easy. Another goal. What's this? The 3K, 3M. 3 kilos in 3 months. Yeah, you heard me. 3 months, not 3 weeks. If you lose weight too fast, it's not going to work. Trust me. So build it up slowly. Lose those 3 kilos in 3 months and hold it. Maintain it, right? And that girl is like, she's not happy. She's kicking sand. What are my weaknesses? We have to talk about that. So know your energy hours. If you prefer to work out in the morning, please do. If you're tired in the morning, I need coffee. That would be me. Work out later during the day or afternoon, evening. Then if you're really low in energy, I'm not gonna do that today. Then at least go for a walk. Yeah, stick to your routine. Pack your bag. Have it ready. Have it at the door all the time as a reminder. Oh, and food. Yeah, I have only 20 minutes, guys. Let's not talk about food. Don't have that unhealthy food at home. All right? I give you one. Ice cream, right? Everyone, ice cream. Who loves ice cream? You're lying, guys. I need to see all your hands. So put yogurt into your freezer. Has less calories. I give you another one. Frozen bananas. Even less calories. All right. That's it for food. You know how it works. Have a training partner, so then you're less likely to skip the lesson. Yeah, that's here, right? Social media. This is your strength, guys. Like these girls, like, I'm going to publish what I just did. And I want you to do that as well. So publish your goal, create maybe a channel. If you're really desperate to restart your routine, and it's like, I haven't done anything for 2 years now. I gotta do it. I feel like shit or no energy and all these things. So use the technology. We all have phones. We all have the watches. So it works for us. So we have a lot of tech here which we can use. And who is on Strava? Yeah, not enough. Sorry, you guys. I'm very strict today. So Strava is a free app, Strava, and your friends, they post their workouts there. Yeah, so you see, so if you add me on Strava, it's like, and then you see where I run. So beach, up and down. Well done, Chris. Well done, yeah. So that's what you can do as well. It's very motivational. Don't go on Instagram. Go on Strava. Post your workouts. So this is good. Ooh, this guy. Oh my God. That's my brother, Steven. And he has a habit, which is going to the gym twice a day. And I put some numbers on his 6 app there. 3 weeks. So to create habits, question, very easy question. How long does it take? 3 weeks, 3 months, or 6 months? What do you think? Yeah, 3 weeks if you're fast. Let's go for 3 months to be safe. Okay, so key is here to be consistent. And that's my obviously this is my favorite. Look at her, she's super happy, she did it, she signed up. So please, for you, who is doing a competition soon? Oh no, oh, you made me sad. You make me sad, guys. Come on, there's so many competitions out there. It doesn't have to be running, can be also other stuff, obstacle races, swimming, cycling, whatever. Sign up for a competition and don't go for the 5K walk, guys. Go for 10Ks or half marathon, okay? Come on, 5K walking, everyone can do that. We need training, and that would be me. And my last marathon, very tired, after 3 hours and 4 minutes in Seville, in Spain, not too far from here. And then the last tips and tricks here. You see this girl here, she's having music in her ears. I highly recommend that to have distraction, to have motivation, your favorite music, podcasts, audiobooks, whatever. I do that as well. You can buy new gear, have nice sports gear, and then you're like, I spent those €100, €200, now I have to use it, right? Hire a trainer, of course, is very effective if you have the budget. If not, there's so many fitness apps out there which you can use for free as well, or paid monthly, not too much. And then, depending on your type, punish yourself, right? If you don't do the workout, then, for example, no Instagram, no Netflix, that hurts. On the other side, you can also reward yourself. If you make it, then obviously you can go for a massage, or go for the movies or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So these are. I mean, guys, please. As I said, it's a mental game, right? You want to do it. It's all about doing it, right? It's like your business. If you want to build your business, you sit down every single day, right? That's what you do. So same with exercising. You have to do those 2-3 times every week. There's no excuse, right? You want to invest that into your body because it gives you energy in return to sit, for example, those hours to build on your business. So it's connected. And yeah, cardio challenge. So that would be my last point. This is the free stuff now you can do. Tell your friends. Tell all these guys who are not here, still in bed or having coffee. It's a 10 days cardio challenge, which I did already in 2020. It's free. It's completely free. And the instructions are already on Facebook. I put them there last night. Thinking of you. It's very easy, 10 days cardio, so you pick you can walk, you can run, you can swim, cycle, whatever, for 10 days, as many kilometers as you can, by yourself or with friends. Yeah. So please connect with me if you like to, on Facebook, Chris Coaching Services, and on Instagram as well, Chris Coaching, and that would be fun, right? Thank you very much.
Give it up for Chris, everybody. Very nice. Thank you, Chris. We're going to jump into some questions. And by the way, thanks a lot for starting our Wednesdays showing us some hot bods. We love that. That's a great way to kick off your day. Chris, we got a couple questions coming in. First thing I want to ask you, though, is when you perform these challenges for people, what kind of things can people expect inside the challenges themselves? What kind of challenges will they be presented with?
Yeah. So first we want to find out if they sign up, and then what type they're going to choose, and then if they do it every day. They don't have to do it every day, but every second day would be good already.
Sweat every day or almost every other day. All right, that's cool. Well, let's just see what we got here. Chris, what's your fitness goals?
Yeah, my fitness goal, what I just said, is the Valencia Marathon in 8 weeks' time. And this is a sub 3 hours attempt. And with CrossFit is connected to running. So I do CrossFit to have very strong legs, because it's mainly leg work there at CrossFit, to maintain a good speed within those 3 hours.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. I heard he has very strong legs. Very good. All right. Let's see. You know, we should have a race at some point this week. What do you think? Not me.
Yeah.
I'll referee it. You know what I mean? Very good.
You pick.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll see if I can get some of those strong legs out here. All right, here we go. Next question. For people sitting the whole day, what kind of exercises should we focus on first?
Yeah. So stand up every half an hour, at least after the latest like an hour. Sit, stand up, move around, move within the house or the apartment, wherever you are, a co-working space, and then do some stretches, move your body, run on the spot, go for a walk, and then even a few little strength exercises you can do as well, and then you can sit down again and keep working.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Here we go. Next question. How do you keep your habits when traveling and often changing locations?
I knew that question would come.
So therefore you should be prepared? No?
Yeah, so this is a tough one. I keep exercising when I travel. You want to put that into a schedule, into your travel schedule. So tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I'm going to go for a 5-kilometer run. I'm going to the gym. I'm going for a swim. Last night, people were swimming, right? Mm-hmm. So put that into your agenda, even if you're traveling, and it's all about doing it. I mean, you're eating as well, and you're checking your emails as well while traveling, so why not exercising as well?
Very good. Do you, sir, eat meat? What are some pros and cons?
Who asked that?
They won't reveal themselves.
I know who did that.
It's a person named Anonymous.
I know, yeah. But I know. So, meat is not so important. He's very upset that I said that, but you want to eat protein. Protein is important, but it doesn't have to come from meat. So it can be plant sources of plant. It really doesn't matter where the protein is coming from. So the meat eater is saying, "Our meat is very important." This guy is saying that, but it's not. So and I try to cut meat, so I'm not eating much meat. And I'm still feel good. And
very good, excellent. All right, and last question. I think everybody's thinking it. What do you deadlift?
My friends are here in the audience.
Yeah, well, they're not your friends anymore. Yeah.
So my best back at the time when I was building that deadlift was 185 kilo. Now I guess I'm going up to 130, 140.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, you don't need to embellish for us. Don't worry about it. That's cool. And actually, another question just jumped in there, and I think it's relevant. So let's just finish off on this last question here, guys. I'd like to start running. Can you make an example of how to begin? How many minutes per week?
You can also start walking if you're overweight, for example. Really slow jogging, I recommend. And if you're really unfit, just start with 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes jog, 5 minutes walk, 5 minutes jog. So this is a really beginner routine. And then every day you increase this by 10 to 20%. So the next day you would go for 6, 7 minutes, right? And this is how you build it. Yeah, really gradually.
Very nice, very nice. All right. Thank you, everybody. Give it up one time for Chris Bachman. Very nice. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that, guys. We're going to keep moving things along. Thank you, sir. I'll take that microphone from you. Thank you very much. So we now know how much he deadlifts, huh? Anyone surprised? I know I was. That's good. Here we are, guys. I want to let you also know, I want to really do a special shout out right now because Next time I come up here on stage, I'm going to be giving away a prize. Thanks very much to our primary sponsor, Nomad's Insure. And I know you guys are probably aware of what's coming up on Saturday. We are going to be giving away 2 tickets for the cliff jumping adventure that's going to be happening on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to give away that prize next time I come up here on stage, but you guys are going to have to answer a question, and I'm going to save that question for later. But whoever wants to win that prize, you're going to need to be the first person to raise your hand and answer the question correctly when I come back up and do it. Stand by for that. Just wanted to tease that a little bit. In a second, we are going to go beyond wanderlust. So let's just jump into it once more, everybody. This morning's next speaker is an international copywriter and owner of an ethical swimsuit brand. She is a content maven and strategist and the founder of both travel sites, now in Rio and now in Portugal. Ladies and gentlemen, AI and content writing enthusiast, give it up one time for Ivan Ivanscu.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling nice and energized for today. Yes, I wanted to do like a little bit of an overview. Obviously, I cannot cover everything in 20 minutes. It's just not possible because I really wanted to talk about 2 specific things. I kind of really wanted to talk about like my personal experience and give you tips and tricks of what I have gone through. I ended up leaving my job in February and I went full-time freelance. I'm a copywriter and I work for clients, but I also have my 2 blogs. And with my 2 blogs, I'm trying to make them into a full-time income. And so there are 2 things that really helped me monetize my websites and to write. And that is SEO and AI. And then at the end, I will have like a little bit of a freebie for you. So if you stick at the end, you'll see what that is about. Now, first of all, who am I and why should you care, right? So my name's Yvonne, I'm Canadian, I live in Portugal, I have a PhD, and I'm a copywriter and content marketer, content writer. I've been working in various different roles, mostly content in the last 10 years. And I've been like an OG travel blogger. So I started like 10 years ago, and I kind of gave up a lot of the time because I was like, I was not making money from this. I'm like, you're putting so much effort into this travel blog, you're writing, you're doing these things, and I'm not making money, and this is just not worth it for me. And so I actually ended up meeting a travel blogger that was making $20,000, $30,000 per month. And I was like, what's going on? How is this person doing this? And I can't even make like a couple $100. And so the first thing that I really needed to do with now in Portugal and now in Rio is to identify the issue. Identify why I wasn't making money and these people are making like 10,000, 20,000 months. And so I had to identify the problem. I hope you can see that. I had to identify the problem. So I'd been a blogger for 10 years. I started 4 different blogs, but never made more than a couple of $100 a month for each blog. So why wasn't I able to make money? What was the problem? And this is kind of like super important. While you identify the problems, you can find the solution. And so I was thinking about it, and I was also working with this travel blogger who makes this amount of money, and she also helped me identify all of the problems. And the first problem that I really had was I was writing whatever I wanted. So I kind of was like, you know what, I want to write what I want. It's my blog. This is what I want to do. The second one was I didn't have any strategy. I didn't understand, I understand SEO, but there's such a different level of SEO that I just didn't get. So I wasn't being strategic in terms of keywords, in terms of affiliate marketing. And at the end of the day, like I'm a solo entrepreneur. I didn't have that much time, and so I couldn't write all of this content that needed to be written on my blog. And so with this blogger, we chatted and we talked. And I kind of found like the magic solution. So first of all, I had to change my mindset. And I think a lot of people, whether you're a travel blogger or whatever, you have to change your mindset and understand that this is a business. And so at the end of the day, I had to stop thinking about what I wanted to write, and I needed to think about what people wanted to read. And I had to be more strategic in that. And so I had to put together a content strategy, and I had to focus on the target audience. And I needed to understand strategic keyword research. And so it's not enough just to be like, oh, I can rank for this keyword. But what is the intent behind that keyword? What is and I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. I can't get too much into it, but I'll talk a little bit about that. And then at the end of all of this, I used AI to help me not only with copywriting and content writing, but also with SEO. So in terms of understanding SEO and making it much easier. Because 5 years ago, SEO was really hard. I think it's getting more and more easier just because of AI. So what ended up happening? So I was like working with this blogger. I changed my mindset. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like focus on this. And it's working. So if you look, I mean, it's not astronomical, but if you look at, this is just one affiliate that I work with. If you look at my payout in May 9th, 2023, my payout was $290. Last month, it was $7,200. So I started implementing this strategy in January. Obviously, it takes time. Nothing is, I'm not going to be up here and tell you, like, you can make $10,000 in 1 month, because it's not like that. It took time, it took effort, it took strategy, but it's working, and I'm on my way of making those 10, 15,000 K months. Now, with AI, a lot of people talk about ChatGPT, and yes, that's a great thing, but there's so many AI tools out there that can help you. So we have things like Surf for SEO, which is fantastic for SEO. ChatGPT, we have Jasper, and Jasper is really great for long-form content if you're like want to do long-form content. Grammarly has AI introduced into it. Canva has it. I personally use Key Search. I know someone talked about Ahrefs and SEMrush. Too expensive for me. So I use Key Search and I use Rank IQ, and with that I use ChatGPT. There's also a koala. You see the little koala. It's koala.sh, which is also really great as an AI tool for writing. So the first thing, so these are, I'm going to be talking about the 2 game changers in my business. And the thing is that you might be sitting there and being like, well, I am not a copywriter and I'm not in travel. Why do I care? Everything that I talk about, it can be applied to you and your business. You're a business owner, e-commerce, you probably are going to write blogs, or you're going to have to write content for your website. If you're in the niche, travel niche, in the fitness niche, in the food niche, whatever niche, this can apply to you. So whether you're a copywriter or a business owner, all of these are super important. SEO is important, and having AI to help you with your business goals is important as well. So this is all really complicated. I can't get into it, but I wanted to kind of give you like an overview of what really changed the game for me. And that was understanding SEO. This is where the money comes in. This is where I make the money. Because I understood things like SEO. I understand the difference in terms of keyword research. So analyzing queries, analyzing queries and metrics like user intent, difficulty, search volume, and trends. Understanding things like competitor gap. So can I realistically rank on the first page of Google for this keyword, looking at the first page of Google and the people that are there? I need to look at content quality. So yes, you need to use AI, and you can use AI, but Google still wants EEAT. Does anyone know what EEAT is? No one? Well, if you're writing any kind of content online, you should be following Google's EEAT, which is experience, expertise, trustworthiness, and authority. Google wants you to add that little extra thing in there. It wants you to show why you're an authority on this subject. So just writing AI and just posting it on your website, Google's not probably gonna like that. You have to do backlinks, and backlinks helps with your domain authority, understanding site structure and search engine algorithms, and of course, keyword optimization. So yes, you have that keyword, but how are you going to implement it into your website or into your article? What are LSIs? Where do you put the keywords? How many times? What is meta description? Where do you add it in terms of the image? All of this is important. So obviously, I can't go into a lot of this, but I wanted to give you one specific example of kind of like what really, one of the examples of how my mind shifted and my mindset shifted. So, have you heard of the traveler's journey? So the traveler's journey is inspiration, planning, booking, experience, and then advocacy. So this is what, you guys are all travelers, this is probably the journey that you go through, right? And so when I started to be more strategic about my keywords, I started to realize that different keywords focus on different points of the traveler's journey, right? So a blog post that is, why visit Lisbon? So I'm actually ranking on the first spot in Google for that keyword. It is not to make money. that will not convert. It is great to get people to come onto the website and to boost traffic, but conversion just not there. And so for me, I really had to be, and this is the traveler's journey, but like if you're in marketing and stuff like that, there's the buyer's journey. This is kind of the same idea in terms of understanding the keywords and where you want to be targeting the person within their journey. And so here you have like things like the inspiration phase, the planning phase, and the booking phase. And so obviously in terms of conversions, the best place to focus is the booking phase, like best budget hotels in Paris, for example. People have their credit card in hand. They're ready to book. But you can't obviously focus on only the booking phase, so you have to also have a strategy to include all of the different phases. So for me, the way that I do it is that I do the keyword research, I look at the competitors gap, I look at what people are writing about, I create the outline, I have everything ready to go, I have all of the LSIs in a different document, they're ready to be implemented, and then I go into ChatGPT. And so I have all of that. So SEO for me is like the foundation. I've created the foundation. I have the kind of the outline and the direction that this article is going to go. And then I turn to ChatGPT to help me write it. And so there's different ways that you can use ChatGPT. For me, I use it for things like outlining. So let's say I want to create an article outline, and I want to kind of brainstorm with it. Research, formatting, rewriting. So for example, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I have this block of text. It sounds really unprofessional. Can you clean it up for me? Rewriting, so brainstorming, so I'll go back and forth. Thesaurus, so like let's say I have a word, I'm like, what's another word for this? I sometimes even use it if I'm really lazy to be like, this is in Fahrenheit, can you just change it to Celsius? Like sometimes I just go in there and just kind of have everything done within ChatGPT. It's also great for keywords. So let's say I have my list of LSIs already done, and I want to implement that in the article. So I'll say something like, hey, ChatGPT, these are the keywords that need to be included within the paragraph or within my blog. Can you please include them as is, as easily, like as fluidly as possible, so it doesn't stand out. And then it'll write it for me. And so that's a really great way to add the SEO element into the blog writing. And then you have things like curation. And so one of the things that I think that is really important to notice and to like really think about is that ChatGPT is not going to do everything for you. You need to treat it like an intern. And so you need to be able to prompt it to do what you want it to do, right? And so you have to train it, you have to let it know what it needs to do. And so I have a couple of examples. So make sure to be specific on what you want, and things like tone, voice, reading level, word count, etc. Ask it if it understands. So I always like to ask ChatGPT if it understands. Like, this is what I need from you. Do you understand? And sometimes what it's going to do, it's like it does understand. Sometimes it can ask you additional questions, like, actually, I need you to answer this and this question before I can move forward. And then you can also provide examples to mimic. So let's say you already have an article that you love the tone, you love the voice. So basically, you're just going to copy it, you're going to put it in there, and you're going to tell ChatGPT, this is the tone, this is the voice, I want you to mimic it. The thing is that you can also ask, for example, if you, I have examples here of like, can you write a small paragraph about Bico de Papagaio in Tijuca in Rio de Janeiro? This is for my Now in Rio website. And then I asked it to write it wrote it, and then I asked, can you write it in a grade 10 reading level? Because it was too advanced, because we know in terms of blogging, you need to go like grade 8, grade 9 reading level. I don't like that. I like going maybe grade 9, grade 10 reading level. And so here, the second example is like, this is what I wrote for Cataplana. So I actually rewrote something that it wrote. And I said, can you see the difference between what you provided me and what I rewrote? Can you please mimic my tone and my voice? Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Sorry. So once you provide the information, you can also ask ChatGPT if it needs more information. So as you can see here, I provided the information, and then I said, do you need any more information before we start? And so it asked the questions. And then here, I also say, like, don't be frustrated if it doesn't nail it. Like, it is learning. Don't expect it to, like, to come up with the perfect paragraph from the get-go. You're gonna have to train it. You're gonna have to kind of let it know what's wrong, what's not wrong. You can kind of guide it into it, and don't be frustrated because it's gonna take a couple of tries. At least with me, it takes a couple of tries to really nail what I want. And then sometimes, like I said, sometimes I rewrite the examples and ask if ChatGPT can see the difference. So there are many prompts that exist, and so one of the prompts is act as, and there was like something really cheeky that I saw and I wanted to add it. It's like, act as the tool Quillbot and Grammarly and rewrite the content I will be adding to avoid AI detection. Do you understand? And so it says yes. I don't know if it actually works because I haven't tested it, but I saw this and someone was talking about it in terms of avoiding AI detection when you write stuff. But at the same time, you can be really open with it. Like, try whatever you want. So I asked it to write me a bio. I asked it to write me an email, for example. So I don't know if you guys know what Hado is. It's help a journalist out. And sometimes you can pitch yourself to them and get backlinks. So I even asked it to write an email for an Hado request, change Fahrenheit to Celsius, did all those kinds of things. So it's pretty amazing. So after that's done, I always re-edit it, redo it, add any extra LSIs, et cetera, et cetera. Remember, ChatGPT is not, at this moment in time, a replacement for humans. It is addition, and it can help. And so this is my freebie. I don't know if anyone's interested, but I would like to hold a free webinar for anyone that is interested in learning more about my process, my SEO process, and my copywriting process. Again, you don't have to be in the travel niche to take advantage of this. You can be in whatever niche. I think SEO is one of the things that's super important nowadays, especially if you're going to write anything online, and then also understanding how to take advantage of everything. So there we go. That's me, and that's everything that I have to say. Thank you.
Give it up one time for Yvonne, everybody. Very nice. Keep it going, everyone. Thank you very much. And now's the time, everyone, to pop in your questions. Let's get the Q&A moving. My question is going to be very simple, Yvonne. And the question is, do you say thank you to ChatGPT after it provides you a good response?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
So I'm doing it wrong is what you're saying, right? I'm far too polite to the AI because I know what's happening. I know what they're going to do to me. So that's cool. All right. So no need to say thank you after you're done with it, huh? Yeah. Okay, that's very good.
I mean, I don't, personally.
Okay, all right. Okay, clearly I didn't get the memo on that one. All right, guys. So let's get your questions in here now. I'm going to get started here, Yvonne. What industries are your top 3 affiliate partners?
So, I mean, in terms of industries, it's only travel. So I have only travel affiliate. I only work with affiliate partners within the travel niche, and so there are a lot of affiliate partners out there that are within that niche. So we have Get Your Guide, Viator. I don't know if I ever say that, Viator. You have things like Booking.com. Airbnb doesn't have anything, but there's also companies that have, Omnio, there's just so many things. Anything that you can think about travel, they usually have an affiliate program. But even if you're not in the travel niche, affiliate marketing exists for every single niche, whether you're in the finance niche or the pet niche or whatever kind of niche, there are affiliate marketing programs for that. And it is a great way to make somewhat of a passive income if you're interested in that.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, here's the next question for you. Do you believe that the question has moved? Yes, I do. Where does your income come from? YouTube, question mark?
No, I don't have a YouTube channel. So one of the great things about, it can be a great thing and hopefully it doesn't get disrupted in the future, but all of my traffic is organic SEO. So it's organic search, so it's only SEO. I don't have any YouTube, I don't have social media, I don't have any of that. That's not where my traffic comes from. So my income comes from SEO. And so as a result of that, that's why I push it so much. And it's from affiliate marketing at this moment in time. Once you reach a specific threshold, you can start putting ads into your website. I'm waiting to hit the 50,000 per month mark so that I can get into Mediavine, because Mediavine is just one of the better kind of ad companies out there.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, next question. I'm just starting out. Do you have any tips for newbies?
Yes. Learn SEO. So when I was talking to Shelly, and I kind of really didn't believe this, the girl that makes 20 to 30,000, and I think this is really important, is that I know there's a lot of information out there, and people are like, oh, I can just Google things and all of that. But if you really want to learn something and get it to the next level, I think you really need to pay for it. In terms of courses, in terms of individuals, in terms of coaching. I was very lucky with Shelly because I started working for her, and so I learned a lot from her, just kind of using what she does and using it on her website. But I think that understanding SEO, like I understood SEO before I met Shelly, but she really kind of like put it to the next level of like really changing my mindset and being like, you're not being strategic enough. This is not enough, and like kind of taking him like me that one step further. So I would say like learn SEO, try to do it free if you don't have any money, but also try to maybe invest in coaches or individuals to be able to get you to wherever you want to go to.
Awesome, awesome. And actually, someone followed up with the question, what do you mean my income comes from SEO?
Okay, so you're Googling, right? So let's say you're Googling best tours in Lisbon, let's say. And you come onto a website and you're like, oh, cool, it's 10 best tours. And you click on a link, and you go to like get your guide or via tour and you book. The person like my website gets a commission from that, right? So the more people that come into my to my website through SEO means, so it's on the first page of Google, it's on the second page of Google, I'm getting a lot of traffic. And so the percentage of people that are converting is higher, right? So the number of people that are coming from the search engine, from Google, onto my website that are clicking and that are converting is higher, so I get money from that. When you are at a certain amount, you can do ads as well. I don't know if you guys seen that when you go into a website and there's all these like pop-up ads everywhere. People get money from that as well. My blog does not have that at the moment. But there's different ways that you can get like money. You can do products, you can do ebooks. There's so many different ways that you can earn money. And a lot of people are.
Very good. All right. All right. Yvonne, do you consult clients to help them with their strategy for SEO with AI?
So I do. If anyone is interested in chatting in terms of that, you can always find me. I have a website, yvonneivanescu.com. I'm kind of working on it. So it's something that I really want to get into in terms of SEO, AI, and copywriting and content writing.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, excellent. Do you believe that SEO will be disrupted in the future with AI, with more people being able to have a good strategy made by AI, content created by AI, etc.?
It's so hard to say, really, because I mean, I don't know where the direction is going. I don't know what's going to happen. So I would say that we should not think so far in the future. We should think like about maybe 6 to 8 months to 1 year in the future, and then if need be to pivot. I always say that you need to have multiple income streams, multiple ways of getting to people. So for example, I also want to implement an email marketing strategy because at the end of the day, emails are always going to be yours. No one can take that away from you just in case there's issue with Google or with SEO. So there's different ways that you need to expand your reach. Whether or not SEO is going to be disrupted, I don't really know. There's a lot of conversations about Google and what they're doing now, so it's just kind of like, we'll see.
Yeah, I see. So it sounds like we don't know where AI is going, guys. All the more reason to say thank you when you use ChatGPT, okay? We don't know what's going to happen, right? So how do you convert your blog into income? Commercials, platform agreements, commissions?
I mean, I think we already talked about it's affiliate marketing.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Do you recommend any web courses to learn SEO?
Yes. If you guys want to like email me or chat with me, I can recommend some. If I say it out loud, I don't have it off the top of my head, but if anyone is interested, come and chat with me, and we can definitely do that.
Very good. And just as your last question here, I know someone may need to know this. Yeah, can you explain what backlinks are?
Yeah, sure. It's a way, so backlinks increase your domain authority or the authority of your website. So let's say you're a new website, right? Google kind of doesn't trust you yet because you're like, okay, well, this new website, we don't know what's going on with it, what's happening here. And so what you're doing is you're like maybe guest posting onto other websites and you're including a do follow link back to your website. And what does this say? This tells Google like, look, this website has really great information because all of these other websites here are linking back to this website. So that must mean that this website has authority. We can trust this website. It has experience and expertise. And so that, the more links you get, the better it goes. The thing is that you have to be very careful with this because there's something called white hat SEO and black hat SEO. So if you're just buying links and doing really shady practices, Google will also figure that out and it will penalize you. And you won't be able to do anything with your website. So there's a good way of doing it and a bad way of doing it. And so this is part of a very strong SEO strategy in terms of growing a blog, a website, whatever that you need. Even if you're an e-commerce store that has a website, this is very important to have links back to your website.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one time for Yvonne. Thank you very much.
So in terms of just say my website, it's just yvonneivanescu.com.
There it is, guys. Very good. And be polite to your AIs. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yvonne. Very nice. Guys, one more time for Yvonne. Thank you very much, guys. I want to hear a little bit more energy coming from you guys now. Now we should be awake. Now you should be aware. We are less than an hour away from coffee break. You guys probably have a little bit more energy to squeeze out of you. So I want to keep moving things along as always. I said I was going to ask you guys a question in a second, but first I wanted to remind you a little bit something. If you guys were here yesterday, we had a great speaker, Chris, come up. He kicked things off yesterday from Nomads Insure, and one of Nomads Insures, they're our primary sponsor, and what they said to us was they are helping us take risks confidently, so confidently, in fact, that this Saturday there is a cliff jumping adventure happening on Saturday, and we're going to take those jumps confidently. So, if anyone would like to be a part of this event coming up on Saturday, we're going to give away 2 tickets right now. I have a random question to ask you. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to ask that question. First person to raise their hand, and I see you raise your hand, I will point to you. If you get the answer correctly, you will win 2 tickets to Saturday's event. How's that sound, guys? Does it sound good? Yeah? It sounds like you guys are awake. Yeah? That's good. I think you guys are just standing by for the question. Here's the question. Ready? At the beginning of today, at the beginning of yesterday, I told you what my mission was, and I told you what question I'll be asking each and every one of you. What is my question? What's the answer? I'm pointing at you. Correct. You, sir, have just won 2 tickets to this Saturday's cliff jumping situation. Very good. Don't worry. You can do it confidently, guys. Give it up one time. I'll give you your tickets afterwards. Thank you very much for playing along, guys. I just want to remind you, though, there are events happening over the course of the week. I'm going to be running through that schedule soon, but I just want to give a quick shout-out and a special thank you to Nomads Insure. This event would not be happening without their support, so thank you very much, guys. We'll be talking a little bit more about Nomads Insure as the day progresses, and I will be giving away more tickets for the cliff jumping adventure. But let's just keep moving things along. And also, I should say, just because the organizers in the back can't stop reminding me, today the Jeep Safari is happening at 2. This is your last chance to scan the QR code, click on the link, and then get your ticket for 2 o'clock today. I'm going to keep moving things along, guys, because that's what I am all about. So next person up, standing in the back right now, what does the future of global talent acquisition look like? Our next speaker can tell you as a talent expert with almost 2 decades in tech, AI, Web3. Today, she is a remote work advocate and the full stack founder at Nomad. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Marie Brode. Very nice. She is slowly making her way out from backstage. Oh my, here comes Marie. Is she struggling to fight? She pops out that way. That's gonna be hilarious. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Very good, all right. Give it up one time for Marie, everybody. Here we are, my dear. And let me make sure that's on here for you. Oh, there you go. Here you go. And get you to clip that back on there. All right, thank you, Marie.
So yeah, okay, it's working. I'm happy to be here today to talk to you about how to become a headhunter using AI and personal branding, and also introduce you to Nomadia. So here's my V card with my LinkedIn profile, and also like a link you can scan and you can ask your questions at the end of the presentation. And the last one is Nomadia, so it's my baby I just launched. So yeah, I can give you back the QR code at the end. Where is the clicker? Yeah, okay, sorry. Does it work? No. Okay. No? Like this? Cool. Sorry, I'm working in technology, but yeah. So yeah, the agenda for today. So first I will tell you a bit more about my background and what it is to be a headhunter, how you can leverage AI to assist you find the best talent, and how you can build your brand to build your network. And then I will introduce you to Nomadia, a collaborative recruitment platform with referral bonus, where basically everyone can become a headhunter. So yeah, this is me in a nutshell. So yeah, I'm an international mess, as you can see. So as you can probably hear from my accent, I'm French. I studied psychology and human resources. I also went to Finland for an Erasmus to do an MBA in intercultural management. And in 2007, so 15 years ago now, time flies, I left France and I basically never came back. I went first to Morocco for 3 years and started my career in Casablanca as a tech recruiter. And in, when was that? 2011, I moved to Montreal with a working holiday visa. I was supposed to stay a few months, and I stayed like 8 years at the end. And I actually just became a citizen like 2 weeks ago. And during my time in Canada, I escaped some winter, so I went to Australia and Asia in 2014, and I stayed for 1 year there. Then South America in 2017 for 6 months, and I always negotiated, like all of you here, I guess. I read like 4 hours a week, and I negotiated with my boss at the time to work remotely from there. I was getting paid on commissions and on success when I was hiring people at the time. So I worked for gaming and VFX companies. VFX is the visual effects for the movies, consulting firms, startup, and also for Expedia. So 4 years ago, October 19, I changed my base from Montreal to Lisbon. And yeah, I'm always nomading like 3 to 6 months per year, South Africa, Cabo Verde. I went with Nomadics last year in Cabo Verde. Brazil, Mexico, Morocco, Europe. I was working for Cloudbet. It's a remote-first company. And then I became a freelancer. Sorry. I was working for Luxembourg, Belgium, and Switzerland. Always hiring in tech and sometimes also in sales. And I did a bit of Web3 recruitment also for American clients. And very recently, I started my own business. So that's my story. Yeah. So before diving into AI and personal branding, let's explore what it takes to become a headhunter. So while everyone here has experience being a candidate, I guess, yeah, I don't know if some people have been a recruiter also on the other side. So when people are asking me what I do for a living, I like to say like I'm a headhunter because it's kind of scary. People think it's like a bounty hunter. That's why you have the Mandalorian here. But I was also like, when I was working in the VFX, my title was a talent agent. So it's like, yeah, like in the movie industry and in the sport industry. And yeah, sometimes candidates can be like diva too, trust me. So yeah, the term headhunters, it's about recruiting heads and executives, and also like people with rare skills in technology. So we play like a crucial role as a trusted advisor to both candidates and employers, bringing the gap between talent and businesses. And according to a survey, 80% of entrepreneurs regret not having an internal recruiter early on when starting their businesses. Sorry, I'm a bit jet lag and sick also, so it's not a good combination. So yeah, talent is the lifeblood of organizations. A quick glance at LinkedIn reveals that the current job market is challenging, characterized by layoffs, quiet quitting, and discussions around like rotary, going back to the office. So many candidates prioritize like remote work, flexibility, and higher salaries. It's a talent war, and employers must adapt to become more appealing to attract and retain talent, while job seekers need to position themselves also effectively to find the best fit employers. So yeah, so headhunters can earn like a substantial fee, like typically around 20% of the new hires' annual salary. So it can be significant in technology fields because the salaries are like 100K, 200K. So you can earn like 20K, 40K. Maybe I should have started with that, but for a more high-level position, you can even have more. And so even if you do one per quarter, you're good. But yeah, it's not that easy to find the good technical and culture fit. So you can learn the technical skills like with training, but you need some soft skills also. Like networking is super important, building relationship, and also listening and transparency, paying attention to what candidates seek in their careers, and being transparent during the interviews also, not like overselling the jobs, give constructive feedbacks, what else? And yeah, market knowledge also, because you have to educate the hiring manager. Sometimes they are looking for people that doesn't exist. Sales, you are selling the candidates to the clients, and vice versa. Negotiating salaries also. And using like innovative methods to find candidates, some marketing skills also for the employer branding. So yeah, you have to be creative, adaptable also, because your clients can change their needs, and obviously not asking like discriminatory questions. So yeah, so it can be like rewarding when you find the dream job to someone, but it's also like repetitive and sometimes can be a bit frustrating. But yeah, if these skills resonate with you, you can reach out to me at the end. So like I said, I started like 15 years ago with just like an Excel sheet and a landline. And yeah, now AI has transformed the recruitment industry. And so you can like enhance the job description to make it more like inclusive, for example, for women. You can use ChatGPT or Textio. What else? And yeah, there is also like automated candidate sourcing. Oh yeah, you can also like, when you're approaching candidates on LinkedIn, you can, you can use also ChatGPT, but nobody likes a copy-paste, so yeah, always put like a personal touch. There is AI algorithms also to predict suitable candidates based on historical data, and also like chatbots for initial screenings, and virtual interviews to gather some basic information. So yeah, basically I complement the role of headhunters by automating certain tasks, allowing us like to focus more on human-centered activities like interviews, assessment, and negotiation. So yeah, AI is an assistant but not a replacement. So in a competitive field like headhunting, personal branding can set you apart. So define your niche, like find your tribe. So yeah, talent wants to work with you and not somebody else. They have the choice because they are being approached like every day by other headhunters. So find your brand. Mine is more like digital nomad because I understand the lifestyle, I can relate, and I can coach them also. to land their remote dream job. So, so your UVP is what makes you stand out and your competitive advantage. So your brand story is your narrative. It should be authentic, relatable, and compelling. So share your journey, your successes, and even your failures. Because people connect with the stories, not just facts and figures. So you can ask also for testimonials. You can ask also influencers to do partnership. I'm losing my voice. And help you with the visibility also. So this is some example of. I also created a newsletter. The world is your new office, and share my journey when I became a Canadian. So you can choose your channel. It can be LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. And so AI and personal branding, with combining these elements, you can embark on a journey to become a headhunter of the future to succeed in an interconnected global landscape. Okay, so now let me introduce you to Nomadia. So I just launched it last week, actually. So welcome to the future of recruitment, where talent meets opportunity, and everyone wins. So it's a borderless collaborative recruitment platform, and it's more than a job board, it's more like an ecosystem to empower job seekers, to benefit employers, and reward also talent agents. So employers can scale faster and cheaper. Job seekers can find better opportunities. Thanks to talent agents, you can refer friends or former colleagues and earn money 1,000 to 5,000 or even more, depending on the profile. It can be in euros, in Canadian dollars, in USD, in crypto, depending of the client. And again, if you do one per month, that's pretty good. So basically you can find a job to a friend and earn money in the process. So I created Nomadia because I was tired of hearing oh, you're so lucky, how can I become a digital nomad like you? I had that, I don't know if you have that also, but and now everybody can. And I was also tired to work with clients that don't share the same values or are not remote. So this is 99% remote. Except for the volunteering, you have to be on site. So so AI, gaming, VFX, you have also Web3, different categories, and so you can sign up as an employer, you can create your profile and add video, benefits and perks. You can use ChatGPT also, when you're posting a job. And, but again, make it more personal. And also, so you can share in your network, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, X. And to apply, it's pretty straightforward. So you can pitch yourself or your candidate. So you can apply or refer someone. And this is a dashboard, so you can follow your job applications or your referrals. And this is, this is your profile as a job seeker or talent agent. This is the virtual headquarters or co-working space for digital nomads. So if you are feeling lonely, you can just go and check with other members. And so this is the membership for employers. So the first job post is free, and then it's for 5 jobs, it's 150 euros per month, and then you have more options also with AI. This is the membership also for the job seekers. You can have access to the community of digital nomads and talent agents, or get mentored or coached. And yeah, this is the future. Like, so this is a beta version, but then I will add some gamification. So if you are sending some, let's say, some bad resume, like, I don't know, an accountant, for example, for business developer role, you will lose some points. And what else? Also, yeah, skill assessment, and also blockchain and video profile, so you can do your personal brand. So yeah, that's it. Don't know if it was 20 minutes, but yeah. So, okay.
Very nice, very nice. All right, give it up one time for Marie, everybody. And now let's also start plugging in our questions with the Q&A. Thank you so much. So my question to you, Marie, as I step up here on stage is, as Numadia, is it pronounced Numadia? Nomadia, what would you say you need right now from these people or anybody in the world? Are you looking right now for more job seekers, or are you looking more for people hiring?
No, I have the job seekers.
So job seekers, people looking for jobs is priority number one,
no,
yeah?
No, I have them, but I need more like people that want to become talent agents. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I have the employers, I have the job seekers. Yeah.
So it's now talent agents is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. She needs talent agents, guys. That's what Numadia needs. All right, here we go. First question, guys, and get those questions popping in right now. How many job contracts have been concluded through Numadia? I'll figure it out by the end of this. To date, how many job offer listings do you have in the pipeline for the next 2 months?
Good questions. Actually, I'm using Google Jobs aggregator, so I have like lots of jobs, but I have like 5 hot ones now in gaming and VFX. And yeah, so I just started like 1 month ago, and I have 5 contracts, let's say. Yeah.
Like 5 categories or 5 contracts, you're saying?
2 contracts in VFX and 3 in like Web 2 marketing roles.
Right, okay. And so what types of roles will appear? So VFX, marketing, what else we got?
Engineering, sales, marketing, but in different categories, like in AI. Also, I might look for someone in machine learning. Yeah.
All right.
Can be like remote jobs, like in different categories.
All right, perfect. All right, let's go to the next question. What kind of industries, there we go, what kind of industries are more popular on your platform?
Good questions. Not really Web3 at the time, but more like AI and VFX, because my network is in VFX. So yeah, and in gaming and VFX industries, I don't really have a job board. They are using like Excel sheets, so it's a bit old school. So yeah, I would say gaming, VFX, and AI.
And right now you're collecting these people, LinkedIn, through all the other social channels and stuff like that? That's right,
Yeah.
okay, all right. That's
because I have like 30,000. I reached the limit on LinkedIn, so I have like a big network.
There's a limit on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
What is that limit? I clearly have not reached it.
30,000.
30,000 people, okay, cool. All right, that's good to know, yeah. Excellent, let's just go to the next question here. How did you secure a position abroad in so many places? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I mean, my job, you can do it like remotely. You just need Zoom and LinkedIn. So I built like business cases with my former boss when I was in Montreal, because it's super cold, so I wanted to escape the winter. Yeah, I don't know if I have any advice. And it was like before COVID happened. But you have also like remote job boards, like Cloudbeds, for example. It's 100% remote since 2012, and they have office and apartments also in Brazil. They are looking for people in sales if you want to work with them. It's a really good company. But yeah, you can target like remote companies or become a freelancer, so you can be your own boss.
Okay.
And check with your clients. But yeah.
Okay, all right, excellent. Question just popped in here. What do you think about Upwork? I imagine Upwork.com or any of the other ones.
I think it's good, but yeah, they are taking a cut also. Like, I think it's better to find your own clients. But yeah, if you are starting, it's good like to go on Upwork, I guess, to land your first clients, and then you can build your database of clients.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I have a question for you, and it's just more for your job seekers. Why do you think your job seekers would come to your platform over any of the other ones?
Because they can have like a talent agent, and they can, even if it's like a friend of them, like, I mean, they don't really have like to look for the job. The talent agents will look for the job for them, and lots of people are just like sending their resume, and it's just vanish in the air, and now they can like have more like coaching, and they can also become talent agents, even if they are looking for a job, like they can also earn money. So yeah,
okay, then.
For the money.
Excellent, very good. All right, next question. Are the remote jobs rather fully employment or freelance based?
More like freelance. I mean, no, it depends actually. Maybe half-half. Yeah.
Half, you say? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. What job website is best for freelancers?
Good question. It depends of the market. Like in Europe, it's more like Malt. You have also like freelancer.com and Upwork. Yeah, it depends of the market.
Depends on the market, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Country and, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, here's this. Last question for yourself, Marie, one sec. Which websites you found the most useful for remote work besides your own?
So, remote, okay. I mean, they started just with aggregator, but now they have like good companies on it. What else? You have one in Web3 also, like Rethinkable. But yeah, they are more like, specialized, and yeah, maybe remote, okay, we work remotely. JobGiver also is a good one in French guys like created that.
Yeah?
But it's more like a job board, so they don't have like the referral bonus on top of it, but yeah.
Okay, all right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you one more question here, okay? Can you explain again how your model works? Talent agents are coming onto your platform doing the work to make match between the existing employers, candidates, and then a word we don't know.
Okay.
There. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the question?
That's a great question. Let's try it again. Can you explain again how your model works? Talent agents are coming onto the platform, doing the work to make matches between the existing employers, candidates there, question mark. It is it's like we're on a game show. So it's whatever we think the question is. Yeah. I don't want to call out oh no, we do. We have a name right there. That's cool. That's perfect. Calm, do you want to ask your question a little bit? Yeah, there we go, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, the employers are there, but then you have to send the resume of the people that you are referring. So you send the resume. So you have to know them also, and you have to have their consent. But yeah, you are like the matchmaker. There is also some job seekers, but I mean, if you want to have the referral bonus, you need to know the people that you are referring to be. Exactly. You can apply or you can refer.
Very nice. Give that man a prize. Again. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Marie. Give it up one time for Marie, everybody. Thank you so much. And let's make sure she gets off stage safely. Marie, you'll be walking through that door right there. There we go. And if you get lost, just yell, okay? We'll hear you. All right, thank you so much. Give it up one more time for Marie, everybody. Very nice. All right, let's keep moving things along. We are about to talk about the future in a second. I know some of you are already thinking about when is coffee. We are 30 minutes away from the coffee break, guys, so let us focus in on the future. I am very excited to welcome our next speaker. She is a storyteller from the future, explaining the impact of emerging technologies. She is an author of books about remote work and has even written a psychological thriller about Bitcoin. She is the always charismatic host of the Future is Freelance podcast and the founder of Remote Work Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Maya Middlemiss. Hello, here we go. There you are.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic intro. Thank you.
No.
That's brilliant. Well, first of all, freelancers. Give me a show of hands. Freelancers, independents, solopreneur. Yep, my people. I'm well aware I'm the only thing standing between you and coffee, so we will get on with this. But we need to talk about freelancing, right? It's been quite a year. I think we'll all agree. But we're freelancers, so that's okay. We've seen change before. We're used to living in a volatile world. We've been through pandemics. We've been through technological revolutions. So we've just had another little revolution this year. But that's okay. Because we're freelancers, we're used to navigating that successfully and in a much more agile and nimble way than some of the big corporations that are struggling. So let's try and remember to play to our advantages. I've been freelancing for 6 years now, so yeah, there have been quite a few changes in that time. And what I wanted to do with this presentation was to try and look at what makes us unique and individual as humans, despite what's going on in the world out there. And a lot of my freelancing is tech journalism, so I wanted to do some research. And I actually found it really difficult to find out what was going on in terms of how freelancers are using AI. There's not a lot of primary data out there. This was the last bit of robust information I could find, and this is from spring. This was published sort of early summer. People aren't talking about who's using AI and how, so I think we need to talk about it. That's why I'm here. But definitely, even going back to spring, so I think this was published in about June, so the data collection was probably May-ish, like ChatGPT 3.5 era. Freelancers are using it, of course we are, and we're using it because we find benefits in using it. We're finding out, and we've talked about this a lot in the last few days. We've had some brilliant examples from Raphael, from Yvonne. People are using tools as freelancers, as we always have done, to make ourselves more efficient, to make ourselves more productive, to make ourselves more accurate. And actually, we've been using automation for years. If we've ever used Grammarly or if we've ever used a calculator, we've been using automation to do things that we probably could do if we had to, but to do them more quickly and more accurately. But also, talking to freelancers, of course, there are a lot of very worried people. There are a lot of concerns. It's created more chaos and volatility around hiring freelancers, around pitching ourselves. I felt I had to issue a statement to my clients about exactly how I am and I'm not using AI, because I feel like there's this, when you're pitching for content creation, certainly, there are people who think, is she just going to plug this in as a single prompt and give me back what it says? Or are we going to make a rule as a hiring organization that you can't use any of these tools? There is so much uncertainty. Again, as freelancers, we can try and get out ahead of that and actually do the research ourselves, figure out what we want to do, and make sure that we're the ones who are leading the conversation about this, because the concerns are real. And that includes things like the inaccuracies. I don't like the word hallucinations because I think that gives these tools too much humanizing. But like Derek, I do sometimes say thank you. Just for when they take over the world, I want them to know who their friends were, and we've known each other a long time. But there are definitely concerns from freelancers about outsourcing or using tools that then create inaccuracies in their own work, which they will then be judged on. But the biggest concern from the freelancers I've been talking about has obviously been about, is it going to cost me my job? Am I going to be replaced? Are my clients going to go straight to AI? And I really think, certainly what we've seen so far, the answer is no. There are certainly roles, tasks, and particular activities that will be replaced. But as a freelancer, you won't be replaced by AI. You'll be replaced by somebody using AI. And that's not original to me. Scott Galloway, a number of other commentators have issued that very statement. It's not the AI that's coming for you. It's the people who use the tools effectively. So let's just do a recap of how we can use it. There have been some brilliant examples today. I don't want to labor the point too much, but I'll talk a little bit about how I'm using AI and how some of the people I'm talking to have. I'm using it for social media. Hands up. If you want a 4,000-word white paper written, I'm your girl. If you want a tweet about it, it's really not my strong spot. So the whole point for me about these tools is to double down on the things that we are best at and to bring in automation and support for the things that we struggle with or find that to elevate our weaknesses, not to try and do the thing you do better. So I'm using it to generate social media messaging. Also, I'm finding in social media tools and all sorts of tools and applications, actually the AI is already there. It's popping up everywhere, so that's good in some cases. It's not always terribly good AI. I think the latest thing I saw was the LinkedIn profile generator or enhancer. It was an absolutely terrible job that did of my profile, so I thought, no, okay, I'm going back to the human version of that. It's popped up in my email newsletter provider as well, that it will write a headline for you, a subject line. And I don't know quite what its game is of trying to be provocative or something, but no, couldn't use any of that. So it's worth seeing what's out there. Don't pay for it twice. If you're already subscribed to ChatGPT Pro or something like that, then be careful not to end up paying for it. And all these apps are installing bits of AI in them to make it easier. So, but that's social media messaging, and it's great for even just sort of what hashtag should I use to share this article or something. It will come up with things that I haven't thought of, so that's really helpful. Summarizing and gisting. I do a lot of tech journalism, and it's a fairly classic situation. I'll be waiting to interview a subject matter expert, realize that I haven't got any decent briefing for it in my inbox, and the client says, oh, yeah, here's a 70-page PDF product brochure you can use to brief yourself an hour before meeting this person. There's no way I'm going to read that. So it's really fantastic to be able to just feed it into ChatGPT and say, give me a gist of this. Give me some interesting questions to ask that relate to this particular audience. Ever so helpful like that. Interpreting, and if that PDF's not in English, it's even more helpful. I think it's better than Google Translate or anything else that we've come across. Because I'm a Brit living in Spain, I found myself using ChatGPT as my universal translator now. Even things like a medical report, you can plug it in there. It will not only translate it, it will interpret it for you whilst telling you that it's not a doctor and you should take professional advice. It will give you a genuine interpretation. What else? Algebra, yeah, that's definitely not my strong point either. I had a really interesting example once just recently with a content delivery platform for digital goods, and it had 3 different pricing options in it. And it was something like, it was a highest percentage of your sales, but no platform fee, and then a middle one where it took sort of a lower percentage, but charged you 20 euros a month or something, and then the highest one where it was only based on a fixed fee. I thought, this is a really great idea, this is really progressive and helpful, but I haven't a clue, actually, how to figure out where I should position myself, because I can't do that math. Maybe I could have when I was at school. But I'm a words person now, so I just wrote a paragraph about it and said, this is what it says. And ChatGPT came back and said, right, yeah, here's the algebra. I thought, ignore that. Scroll down to the description at the bottom where it said, if you're going to sell more than 700 euros a month, you should go for this tariff. Brilliant, that's what I needed. Why can't they put that on the platform? I suppose they make more money when people opt into the wrong one sometimes. But I found that extremely helpful. And for the digital product itself, I did the whole design and layout using automation tools as well. So these are just some of the ways that I'm using these tools to enhance what I offer as a freelancer, not to replace it, not to deceive anybody, but to do the things that I find difficult. And the planning and idea generation, I think that's a really important one. And it's only just recently, really, with GPT-4, it's got that good, that you can have a conversation with it. It doesn't give you new ideas. It doesn't give, and everything it's coming up with, you've got to remember, is coming from somewhere else. It's not for ideation of anything new, but to bounce ideas, to have a discussion with it. Sometimes I'm writing something that I feel so strongly about, but that I will put some of those arguments into ChatGPT and say, give me the counterpoint. Give me some contradictions here. give me some counter arguments that I can respond to, because I'm thinking, well, how could anybody disagree with this? Well, actually, there is another point of view out there. Or simple things like we came here on a road trip from the other side of the peninsula in Valencia, and we're going back via Lisbon, and I wanted somewhere to stay on the way back that wasn't Madrid. And I was able to, again, just ask AI. We want to say we've got this journey from point A to point B. We want to break off at least 2/3 of it on day one, but we want to stay in a small town, which is more affordable, that's got some history and culture. And so it came up with a place I'd never heard of. Is this a hallucination? No, it wasn't. I popped it into Google. It was a nice little town that I'd never heard of that's exactly in the right place. It took a couple of goes to get that one, because it didn't really understand I want to do 2/3 of the journey. It was suggesting things that would add like another day to our travels and things. So again, with the prompting, you've got to kind of chip away at it. But it got there in the end and gave some really good advice. And whilst it wasn't coming up with anything new, because it can't, because it's ingested what's already out there, it was stuff that was new to me, and that was what I needed in order to plan that journey. So yeah, there are pluses and minuses. There are, in the freelance world, roles that are threatened. It worries me particularly, basically, if anybody's got a freelance offering that can be described as a prompt, you need to do something about that, and you need to do something about it now. Things like content creation, it worries me about people getting started. I got my start in writing, doing product descriptions and things like that. There is no way anybody's going to be paying for that now. You know, the people that you see on Fiverr offering very basic logos using automated tools and things like that. Those things are going to be superseded. You're going to have to enhance what you offer. But on the other side, there are new opportunities coming along. Well, there's the people making and building AI who are incredibly in demand. And you can be a digital nomad, you can work from anywhere, you can do whatever you want if you've got those skills. It's funny, 6 months ago we said we're all going to be prompt engineers. But I think 20 years ago we said we're all going to be computer operators. There aren't that many people actually with the word prompt engineer in their job description, but there are an awful lot of people doing it. And there are an awful lot of people learning to use AI in different contexts. But the most exciting roles in this space, we don't know what they are yet. They don't exist yet, just as we couldn't have predicted things like Uber and TaskRabbit 20 years ago. What people are going to build using this stuff is going to create opportunities. And interestingly, from the training and moderating point of view, there are entry-level opportunities too. There are people who, not the most exciting freelance work, but there are people who are being specifically recruited for particular accents or languages or vocabularies to literally talk to these machines. It's not well paid, but it does give opportunities for people to break into freelancing in creative industries, which are going away with the automatic logo generators and the prompt product descriptions. So with all of that, there are ways to keep the humanity in it. And I feel that's going to be the most important thing, is that what we can bring to this collaboration is what makes us uniquely human. And this isn't going anywhere. Okay, we are still human. We might bring years of experience in a given field. The AI can ingest everything written about it on the internet, but it can't discern, it can't judge, it can't prioritize. We can use it to personalize every email, but we can't build a relationship with an AI. I think it's quite dangerously, some people might think that they can. It's not emotionally intelligent. It doesn't have ethics. It can be taught an ethical framework, it can be taught rules, like from the Jolly Car experiment to feeding it with information. But what we bring is an intuition, an instinct to the situation that the AIs can't compete with. And I think it's really important we remember this at all times. I'm really glad that both of my daughters are working in customer service roles now, in retail and hospitality respectively, because I think, they won't do that work for life, but I think it's essential they learn early on in their careers about relating to humans, about solving problems for people, about reading body language, satisfaction. Have I annoyed this person? Are they really happy? Are they not just because some algorithm says that they might give you a good rating, but am I really discerning what's going on for this human? I think these are the things that AI can't do. Be vulnerable. Make mistakes. Yeah, we know AI makes mistakes. I'm not talking about that lawyer who stood up with a load of made-up precedents in court and got ripped to pieces. That's not the kind of mistake I mean, but the human mistakes. I think these are the things, this kind of vulnerability that humans can express in their work, in anecdote. If I'm telling a story about an interesting new app, then I can bring in the human experiences of the people who developed it, my experiences as a user. I can talk to subject matter experts, I can talk to customers, I can talk to prospective users, find out what makes them tick. And yes, I might use the AI to then help mold that into a buyer persona, but that primary research is about one human connecting with another, and it's so important. Everybody in this room has unique experience that no AI does. And I think however threatened or encroached upon or concerned you might feel, you need to remember that and hold on to it. But that's okay because we're freelancers, it's what we do, right? We roll with the pivot. We keep changing. You know, we're not these great big super tankers of enterprises for whom changing direction and trying something new is hugely expensive and cumbersome and means overcoming huge amounts of momentum in the wrong direction. We're paddling our own canoe. We keep the nautical metaphors going. We might have to roll with the tides a bit more and paddle hard on occasion, but we can do it and we're used to it. We've been through pandemics, we've been through the lot. You might need to update your skills. We have a fantastic example from Yvonne of adding SEO onto writing. There's a lot of us can write well, and you know that's served us well in the past. It's not going to be quite enough in times to come. Another one for content writers is strategy. I've been doing a great deal more strategy and consultation, as well as writing this stuff, because you have to elevate what you do. You have to reframe it. You're probably doing it anyway. You know, you might not see yourself as a content strategist, but actually I'm thinking, yeah, that is the clients I serve at the highest level. That's the value they get from me. So it's only a case of reframing it. Go through your LinkedIn profile, look at the keywords. You don't have to fit prompt engineer in there, but you need to figure out how to elevate what you're offering. You need to understand your limits, just as you wouldn't try to compete with a pocket calculator on speedy arithmetic. You're not going to compete with an AI on some of the basics. And above all, you have to build your brand. And I think this was the most challenging one for me. I've been happily freelancing for 6, nearly 7 years now. And most of that time, I was very happy as a corporate refugee to hide behind a keyboard. And I made a fine living doing journalism, writing. I was very happy there, but actually that's not going to cut it anymore because people need the human. So I've had to come out in front of the keyboard. I've had to start podcasting. So I love podcasting. But I needed to do that. I'm putting out a weekly newsletter. I'm here because I can't hide behind the keyboard anymore. So I challenge everybody, if you have any degree of ick over the concept of personal branding, is to double down on that, because that's another key thing that the AIs are not going to be able to compete effectively with you on. So that's it, basically. As one human to another, I would love to keep in touch with you all. The Future is Freelance podcast. There are a number of people in this room, in this event, who have already been guests, which has been a great pleasure. If you've got a great freelancing story, I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to share it with the world. Remote Work Europe, we're building a community of remote workers, not the digital nomads, but the people who are settled where they are in different countries in Europe. We've got some great Facebook communities, we've got events going. We've got a Level Up Your LinkedIn challenge going on now, and you can get a discount on that. All the links are on the tree thingy there. So please keep in touch with me, and let's talk about how we can collaborate, Derek, as we do. It's a great word, and we can keep doing that. But let's find ways to stay in touch, to augment what we have to offer, to celebrate what's unique about us each as individuals, and to take that to the next level. And we'll keep saying please and thank you to the AIs as well.
All right, guys, give it up for Maya. Very nice. Thank you very much. And a question that came to mind for me was just like, I don't think you used the word authentic, but that's the idea. We have an opportunity to kind of inject our own personal tastes and what experiences we've had. So are there any tips and tricks on how to make things a little bit more authentic, or is that sort of reviewing what the AI kicks back to us and then going through and giving it an edit and a review? I mean, just a thought. Is that how you would add some authenticity? Yeah.
I mean, if you are using it for that sloppy first draft, and let's face it, we've all done it. Then throw the first paragraph out completely when it says, in this age of, and think about what's my take on this? Where am I coming from? How can I inject some context into this that's real about me as a human? Then go through and take out words like unlock, nestled, travel journalism.
Yeah.
Every town is nestled somewhere. You've got to weed all these things out to make it real. But as long as you put yourself into it, that's the difference between storytelling and automatic content.
Right, exactly. All right, lots of questions coming in here, so let's just get into it. What AI do you use for image design and layout website design?
Don't do website design, not my area. Image design, I've spent a lot of time messing about in Midjourney. Again, I'm a words person, I'm not a pictures person, so actually it might be quicker for me to find the right stock image because I can get very distracted when I go down that rabbit hole, but by all means it's good fun.
But Midjourney was what you said, though? Yeah, okay. You can have a lot of fun with that. All right, next question was, why would languages be threatened? Translating, yes, but learning? It lacks sound and pronunciation, right?
No, sound is here, and pronunciation. It's here in the latest versions, and it's only going to get better. You just look at the auto-captioning in things like Microsoft Teams now and things like that. It's nearly good enough, and the fact that it's nearly good enough means it will be really good soon. And I think as a terrible language learner myself, I've often found the most difficulty in trying to get personalized tuition and the bits that I'm weak on, and that's where an AI, you can say, right, I really need to understand the subjunctive, and it can give you exercises for that. So I think it's very difficult for a teacher to do that in a group, and the only way a teacher can do that is in one-to-one lessons, and that's expensive. So yeah, I do believe it's threatened, unfortunately.
All right, okay. What skills have been most useful for your freelance work, and which strategies do you find work?
Skills is
Let me rephrase that because I think I changed the question at the last second.
we'll answer
And
the
which
question.
strategies to find work?
Finding work is, for me, it's about thought leadership and building that authority. And as I say, for years I did that from safely behind a keyboard. Now I do it through events like this and podcasting as well because it requires that humanity. But it's the same. As remote workers, we have access to the whole world in terms of our research, our knowledge, and the people we can collaborate with in different ways. So you have to put yourself out there, you have to be very clear, you have to feed the algorithms on LinkedIn and Google with what they want, which is authority. They want you to really understand and add value and demonstrate that. So you need to know what your niche is, you have to keep your eyes on the horizon for what's coming down, you have to understand what the threats and weaknesses are, you have to make good decisions, you have to network and collaborate with other people as well. Even if you're a really introverted writer, you need to come out there and talk to people because we are stronger together.
That's right. And actually, I'll give you a quick kudos for somebody who used to hide behind a keyboard. You actually have become an authority because that's how I found you. You and I have been working, almost a year where I've been a guest on your podcast, but it's because you've made yourself an authority. And you and I only met in person, I think, yesterday. So there it is.
About time.
Welcome to the new world. Exactly, yeah. What is the difference between Chat GDP and Playground?
Again, I'm not the person to ask. I don't know what Playground is, so I tend to resort to ChatGPT because that's the one I've paid for.
Yeah, all right.
It's a words one, which that's my thing.
That's your thing, exactly. All right, we'll go to the next one. Which AI website has voice detection? Am I too lazy to type?
I think it's great to be too lazy to type. I'm too lazy to type an awful lot. I never type on my phone and things like that. Your phone has had voice detection for years, by the way. That little mic on the keyboard next to every single app, you can dictate anything into your phone, you can interrogate it. I think ChatGPT's latest release has voice detection in, or it's the next one coming, but your browser does that anyway. So if you want to talk to ChatGPT, any version, you can do that now. So I would say they all have. If you do it on your phone and it's got a keyboard, just tap the mic instead. They've all got voice detection.
It actually goes to a question I saw yesterday that we didn't get around to yesterday. You know how in ChatGPT they say it goes up until 2021? Are they planning on bringing the information to the modern time or like up to date? Today, I guess.
Well, there are plugins now. So you can ask it to do research on specific links that have been published since then, or to read PDFs.
Ah, okay, perfect.
So that's how you can brief it if you want particular context in the
Very cool.
response.
All right, excellent, excellent. All right. You mentioned a statement for clients about how you are using AI. Can we see that?
Yeah, Yeah, it was on the Linktree code, but I can put it in the chat if you want. But basically, yes, I want to be completely transparent that of course I'm using it to check what I'm doing for gisting, for research and things like that, but I'm not passing off my work.
All
or
right.
feeding their bespoke IP into the algorithm, which is another thing.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Next question. You mentioned a LinkedIn challenge. Is that only for freelancers?
No, I mean, my podcast called The Future is Freelance. I do believe the future is freelancing, but I also believe the future of work is something far more blended and mixed up and interesting. We used to have a very clear dichotomy between freelancers on the one hand and employees on the other, but I think digital nomads are the great example of this, that it's way more of a spectrum now. We might be long-term contractors, we might be fractional execs, we might have a board role with one organization and then be actually carrying out ghostwriting for the same organization in another department and so on. So basically the LinkedIn challenge and everything I do is about building our personal authority. And whether you use that to get an employment contract or to win a freelance gig or to build a relationship with somebody who might have a contact for you in 5 years' time that changes your life, it's all about putting yourself out there and building your brand.
Beautiful, beautiful. The future is bright indeed. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Maya Middlemiss. Very nice. Thank you so much. Well done. Very good, guys. I'm not going to hold you very long because I know what you're thinking. It's coffee time, and indeed, it is coffee time. I do just want to give you guys a quick heads up what's coming up at 11:30. We will be connecting digital communities. Then we are going to be exploring Nomad Nirvana, and then we are going to network like a pro. Guys, just because I have your hands and I know you're able to clap them, I just want to give a quick shout out to the tech team. Tech team's keeping this show going. Give it up one time for the tech team, everybody. We will see you in 30 minutes. Go enjoy your coffee, enjoy your snacks. Thank you very much, everybody.
My name is Christoph. My team and I are digital nomads and experts for global health insurance. As insurance brokers, we are experts on your side. That means we help to assess your risk in the right way. Then we will find the proper solution from the global market. As a digital nomad, you don't know in the morning who's going to shave you in the evening. And in case you have issues with your insurance company during the duration of the contract, we help you to enforce your interests towards the insurance company. As a digital nomad, you never know where you wake up next morning.
All right, everybody, let's go, let's go. So, I hope you guys are all charged up from your coffee. Hopefully, you guys are all set. Our first speaker right after the coffee break right now is actually quite an interesting speaker. I think you guys are going to love this as it get your mornings really kicked off. Be sure to just get that all set here. All right, guys, how was the coffee? Everybody happy? Good, that's what I want to hear. Perfect. Let's just jump right into it. Our next speaker is quite literally building a hotel, a hub for digital nomads, tech heads, and crypto entrepreneurs here in beautiful Albufeira. So if you guys are looking for that, this is the man to talk to. It's Portugal's first crypto hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one time for blockchain entrepreneur, CEO, and partner at Luxury Hotel. Give it up for Michael Gale.
Get a job. Digital art is a lovely hobby, but you have responsibilities. Be realistic. This was the advice that my father gave me in 2021. Now, sound advice, for sure. Yes, he's speaking from his own personal experiences. He's from the time where you could have a one-income household and live the American dream, the suburban dream. Have a house, cars, holiday once a year. So I respected his perspective and his words on this, but it wasn't the route that I had on my heart, or I felt like I was destined for. So in the face of advice, and also knowing that times are changing, nowadays it's very hard to live and work a 9 to 5 and have those luxuries of yesteryear. Now we need to really find new ways to generate income, whether that be business or a 2-income household. So, yes, get a job. So this decision to move into a digital art space was timed actually kind of perfectly. This was around 2021 when there became the cultural phenomenon known as NFTs. So by show of hands in the audience, could you raise your hand if you ever purchased an NFT? Okay, some of you. Okay, could you raise your hand now if you think NFTs are stupid? And could you, well, okay, so that's about 12 answers in the audience. And I guess, would you raise your hand if you wouldn't raise your hand no matter what I said? Okay. So this led me to NFTs. And yes, I do agree. I agree with myself. There was a place for NFTs. They were culturally relevant, significant, but also silly. Somewhere in between lies the truth. But similar to the dot-com bubble, where there were a lot of new businesses, lots of bright-eyed, bushy-tailed entrepreneurs trying to find the next big thing or move the tech forward, that's the stage where NFTs were in 2021. There's more to it than monkey JPEGs and these sorts of things. And fundamentally, the technology behind it really is paving the way for a more digital tomorrow. So that's what leads me to the project that we are doing here in the Algarve, Albufeira. If any of you know the area well, just west of here, there's a town called Gale. My partner suggested me to come see it, and when I went to visit the property, it literally said Hotel Gale, and if you saw in the beginning, my name is Gail. So I was like, okay, this is fate. So just a short 1-minute intro. Hopefully there's no ads. Okay, so this is, in essence, the hotel that we purchased. My partners and I, Web3 people who have backgrounds in crypto and building communities, we approached the owner of this hotel, who was planning to sell it. And we were able to persuade him and just convince him and say, listen, rather than a one-time fee, one-time payment, why don't we build something larger together? Why don't we build something for the local tech community, the digital nomads, and people that are working in Web3? This is something that we can really create a central hub for people to unite, network, and eventually collaborate. Here's a 3D image of what we are currently beginning to build. We break ground on the renovation at the beginning of January, and this is our vision for it, with rooftop bar, conference room in the inside, outside bar, restaurant, basement spa. This property has all the bones, all the fundamentals already there, and is situated right here on our doorstep. It's our little slice of paradise. So, building community. Other areas in Portugal have strong communities of Web3 entrepreneurs. I know Lisbon does, Porto, other places like that. But here in the Algarve, I know there's a growing nomad community, which is what brought us all here today. But a lot of the people working in Web3 that I find, it's always a happenstance. It's not really, there isn't really a central club or a place to connect with other like-minded people. I'm a father, I'm a dad, so a lot of the tech entrepreneurs that I meet are actually at kids' birthday parties. I mean, that's my networking. But really, for those who don't go to kids' birthday parties, and I don't suggest it if you don't have kids, it can be a little bit harder to break out of your comfort zone of working behind a screen and actually finding other people with similar visions, similar paths. So our vision here is to create a central hub, light up the beacon, and invite people to network. Because let's face it, the best thing about these sort of conferences like this, it's not the talks, it's not the booths, it's the people you have a chat with in the coffee area. It's the people you meet waiting in line for a taco or something. Because you never know who you're going to bump into, but these little chance encounters really have led, in personal experience, to some of the greatest business opportunities in my life. And I'm sure for you guys, these little meet cutes, a way to engineer that and create more meetups, more networking events can only help us build the community here in a stronger way and hopefully grow our mutual incomes. So there's reward tokens as part of the club luxury. Our members, we're currently working with, talking with a lot of local restaurants to talk about benefits for users, and then also when you become a member, you can accrue tokens that will be able to be used within our ecosystem. So that will be drinks, room upgrades, and food and merch. As a member, you can attend the events that we have. We have a capacity of about 500 people in our main exhibition area. As a member or even a sponsor, if you have a company, you can host events or speak to your community. If you're working on building your own communities and you have your own specific niche, you can do presentations such as this and just really reach your target audience and larger companies who may wish to sponsor and just raise brand awareness with a very tailored demographic. And then we want to support our members. Working in the digital art space, we have connections with established artists, but also up-and-coming artists. So if you're a budding artist and you want to get more exposure, or if you work in tech and you're looking, or if you're a freelancer, for example, and you're looking for more clients, our goal within the network is to support each other, uplift each other, and give each other more opportunities to grow our own personal brands and raise our exposure. So, luxury hotel, a blockchain hotel. One of the questions I receive most about this hotel is, what is a blockchain hotel? By show of hands, does anybody want to fathom a guess? Does anybody want free ice cream? Okay, I see some hands now. Okay, so a blockchain hotel, in essence, is you can pay how you want to pay. That's one of the core things about it. You can pay in euros, you can pay in cryptocurrencies. There are lots of people hiding beneath the surface in Albufeira, in the Algarve, who have made it in crypto and don't really want to convert the money into euros. So offering it the facilitation of how you want to pay in the most convenient way. Another thing that we can do with the blockchain, so going back to NFTs, there's a lot more to the technology than the monkey JPEGs. Blockchain is an actual technology where you can tokenize and gather more information in a secure way. So for example, when I say personalize your stay, if you want to share as much information as you want, right, you can then go to a hotel, and before you've even been there, if you're a member and you've input the information, i.e. what temperature you like your room, what artwork you want to see in your hotel room before you've even arrived, through NFC tags, as you come into the hotel, when you get to your room, you can already have your room card as your member card. It can even be on your phone. You enter your room, the song you like can be playing, the artwork you like can be on the walls, and it can be absolutely personalized to you. One of the nice things about this sort of features is that you can have the entry, your room set as one setting for when you come in the morning, but then you can also have an option B for the end of the night when you're coming home with your significant other. You want to play the right music, you want the lighting a certain way. This is a future that we are working towards, and it's a future on our doorsteps. Another thing about how through NFCs and tokenization, we can really streamline the hotel check-in experience. As nomads, as travelers, one of my frustrations whenever I go to a hotel is that clunky 5 minutes. You're waiting in line. You want to just show them your passport so you can get your key so you can go to your room. That's the way it's always been done, but that's not the way it has to be. When you have your information stored on your membership card, we can keep that private information off the chain and have a reference code on chain, which will be visible whenever you come in with your information already pre-logged through an NFC tag. Again, you come in, beep, this is Mr. Gentleman, welcome, here's your key card, straight to your room. No more clunky friction points at hotels. We want to really streamline the user experience. Another thing we can do is have member-only areas. So for people that like to go to places like WeWork or shared working spaces, this is an area that we can really help facilitate spaces for that, for our members. Yes, it will be a hotel, but also it's for the local community. The community is the lifeblood of this project, and that's why I'm here today speaking to you guys. Hopefully you can ask some questions, and I can ask some questions, because this is the community we're here to serve. This is the community that we want to build together. And yes, through coming to events like this, through going to a place where you know you're going to find people who are working in a similar space, in a similar sector, you have a higher chance of meeting future business partners. So creating a place where you can collaborate with like-minded people. If this sounds interesting in any way at all, and you would like to have more information, I invite you to join our Telegram group. This is something that we are recently opened up. So here is our public group where we post updates with the project and updates with our plans and events. We'll be having our second event first week of November. Our first event we had back in August. It was a Bitcoin barbecue and beers, just saying hello to the local community. We had about 60 people. And our next event, we're looking to have about 100 people and open up the main function hall. So, yes, join us on the journey from this beat-up, abandoned hotel to this digital haven. And thank you for listening.
All right, give it up for Michael, everybody. Very exciting. Luxury hotel. Very nice. I have one question as I slowly make my way up here. And guys, I want to remind you to put your questions in the app right now so we can get some good questions going on here for Michael. Michael, it's been 2 years since 2021. Does your dad still think you need to get a job?
Actually, my dad was here on vacation, and then now they're looking to move to the Algarve.
Classic dad. Oh, there it is. Very good. First question for you, Michael. What do you believe is a rightful place for NFT? Where is it at? Where is it a fitting solution for an actual problem?
I love the question, by the way. So it's an NFT can be a range of different things. One is the artwork. If you actually just appreciate the art piece, it can be as simple as that. That's a solution to a problem. But in terms of real-world applicabilities, the example that I used about the hotel streamlining the process, capturing information, having some information visible to the public and some information stored privately, obviously like passport information you don't want to make public. These sorts of facilitations for streamlining processes is a way that we can use NFTs. And one more example for applicabilities of NFTs is real-world assets. For example, the buying and selling houses, it's, again, a clunky and expensive process. Having smart contracts and having tokenized properties is a way that people, as long as governments are willing to change, are willing to adopt the newest technologies, this is the next way that we're going to be dealing with property deeds.
Very nice. All right, thank you. And don't forget, guys, pop your questions in there. Michael, is your hotel an NFT or are you gonna make it? I think that's what gone means. I don't know. Yeah.
No,
English is hard.
The hotel is not an NFT. We have a few. The hotel is a physical building. It's a traditional company. There's two companies: the hotel and then the operations side of it. The sides that will be NFTs will be the membership passes. So the actual lifeblood and core of the hotel within the shell of the beautiful exterior, that will be NFTs. And then additionally, we are selling 4 of the rooms. I say selling like this because it has to be a 99-year lease because we can't actually physically sell it. That also will be, that property deed will be backed by an NFT. So we'll be selling the NFT, which will be connected to a traditional contract, so it's backed by what the Portuguese government understands. Okay.
Perfect. All right, next question. Can personalization and all the other features not also be done easily with a membership card? Where is crypto blockchain really needed?
So yes, it can be done, but it's a clunky solution to, in terms of efficiency and data storage, the blockchain solution is more efficient, as well as privacy and security. That's really another aspect which is a lot more secure on blockchain.
All right, very good. And of course, I think a lot of us are thinking this, but maybe perhaps it'll happen in phases, who knows? So when will the hotel be open?
We are opening in phases. We are currently open now for events. We have events every 2 months now. A second one first week of November, just really welcoming people from the beginning of the journey. Our priority is events and those sorts of areas. So the bars and spas will be open in 1 year, and then, Portuguese builders permitting, the rooms will be fully furnished within 2 years.
Very good. This is more of a Derek question than anything. Will you ever have tours for people like this? Could you ever just take them onto the property and show them around?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why we have these events already at the building site that it is. It's photos don't do it justice. When I went there and saw it with my own eyes, I was blown away. I needed to be a part of it. So to answer your question, absolutely. Best way to do that would be either join the Telegram group and reach out to me, or if you want to talk to me directly, we can speak afterwards.
Yeah, maybe there's a good chance you're here in the Algarve now, guys, if you want to go check it out. I'm making this up. I'm inviting you to his hotel, so you guys should go. Many NFT projects failed. Many were just JPEG. Yeah, I think that makes sense. How do you see the future of NFTs in 10 years, Michael?
I would say nearly all NFT projects failed. I say that as a founder of an NFT collection. At one point, our NFTs were selling for 20,000. Now I think they're going for about $20. So I mean, it's how the mighty have fallen. But what we did, we are still alive and active. We pivoted. A lot of projects didn't pivot. We pivoted to digital gaming, metaverse, these sorts of things, and we received additional funding. And that's what really brought me to Portugal. How do we see the future of NFTs in 10 years? I would say we don't see speculative prices like we saw in 21. Spending $500,000 on a picture of an ape is bananas. That was good. But I think the next cycle, currently we're in kind of a bear market. The next cycle will be a lot less speculative driven and a lot more utility based driven. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with this hotel. Actually offer real world utilities and a real use case for why the technology isn't just an option to do, but actually why it's the right future-proof way to do things.
Very good, very good. All right, next question for you. Did your NFTs sales fund the hotel?
Is this referring to...
Perhaps the sale of your NFTs, did it help fund the hotel?
As in my previous project?
I think that's what I'm seeing, yeah.
In part, yes, it's what brought me to the party. I was living in Luxembourg at the time, where tax there was 37%, so I moved to Portugal. Tax benefits, if any of you are working in crypto, you will know a bit about those sorts of things. But truthfully, my partners are just richer and older than me.
Very nice. No, well, we appreciate honesty here. That's great. That's good. All right. Tourism is a very traditional sector. How do you think the sector will react to a newcomer with new tech that may disrupt the sector?
With open arms would be my hope. So yes, it is a very traditional sector. But the government is very open to supporting tourism. There are grants available that we are currently in the process of applying for. But I don't really think that I don't think we're taking away anything from others. It's another hotel to compete with, but if we're offering something different, people that want to go to a Premier Inn can go there. People that want to go to the W, go there. If you want a tech experience with more VR and immersive community and in our spa, in fact, we are going to build a snow room. Yeah, forget your cold plunge. Go to the sauna, the steam room, and then come to our snow room. So there's something for everyone. So I don't think we're going to have we're not going to butt heads too much.
Very nice, very nice. Excellent. We got two more questions for you. Collecting and centralizing members' info presents a honeypot for hackers. How can you guarantee the security of users' data?
Yes. So what blockchain can help in this exact thing? The word you've used is centralizing the information. Actually, we decentralize it in using the blockchain. So please forgive me if this is like rudimentary to say about blockchain, but blockchain in and of itself is quite unhackable. I know people can get their wallets hacked through personal fault, is 99.9% of the time, But blockchain basically means like it's fragmented information across the world. So rather than hacking one centralized place, which is they would have to hack thousands of computers at the exact same time, and then hack every single block after that. So really, at the current stage of computers, it's impossible. And then also, the information that we will put on the chain is different to the information we have off the chain. So those are two of the key measures. And then the last point on this specific question, we are working with ethical hackers. Some of the people that are advising us created the SSL security protocol on websites. We will be having hackathons, see if you can break into our system, because these guys are well-respected hackers who work for Google, Microsoft, and then work against the very people who may try and hack the entire system.
Very cool, very cool. Last question for you, Michael. I think this might actually be a leading question. Who's to say? Don't you reckon crypto might be some sort of a threat to governments who won't be able to control money flow and, example, sanctions the more crypto grows?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, CBDCs, central bank distributed currencies, that's actually my biggest fear, apart from these wars that are going on. That's my biggest concern for the future of money. Money is moving into a more digital way. It's just happening, whether we accept it or not. It is happening. Governments are already working on their own digital versions of currencies. The problem with the centralized versions of currencies is that the examples that they've used to keep us safe from ourselves are akin to talking to a child. So the examples they've used are like, we can turn off some of your money or make your money not work in certain shops. So for example, they said, so your children can't buy sweeties. Well, we're not children. And if they can stop children from buying sweeties with their own money, they can say, you don't have a good enough credit score. You can't buy this. You can't buy whatever you want to buy because we don't agree with your political views. So I'm sorry, that's slightly, it's connected, but it's my big concern. So I think there's going to be the people that just allow central cryptos to take over, and then the people that want autonomy over their own capital and their own net worth. And I think that's where cryptocurrencies are. That's where they stand. So they are an intrinsic threat to governments.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michael Gale. Very nice. Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it. You just put that down on the table. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Very good. Very cool. All right, guys, one more time as he steps off here. Very good. Let's make him feel welcome, huh? And remember, free trips to his hotel. Don't worry, just tell him I sent you. No problem. All right, guys, let's keep moving things along here. I will guarantee butcher his last name. So when he comes up here and he corrects me, we'll just laugh it off. All right, guys? A passionate advocate for the location-independent lifestyle and expert in taxation and residency. He is a staunch advocate for sustainability and environmental mindfulness, consultant, community builder, and co-founder of Co-working Bansko. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Uwe Alguer. Yeah, right? I got it, yeah? Take this one.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Derek, for the intro. Also, thank you so much for Gonzalo and the entire team for organizing this. You are all awesome. Thank you so much. Give them a hand, huh? Okay, let's see whether I can do this. I'm talking about taxes today, I'm sorry, but I hope you had a coffee before. I try to make this as entertaining as possible. If you fall asleep, let me know before, make some noise or so. I'm helping people with residency and company formation in Bulgaria, and I do this since a while. So my mission is to educate fellow nomads to learn the way around taxes, taxation, residency, and stuff like that. I think it's a rather important topic, and that's why I'm inviting you to this talk. I hope you can take away a lot of things. However, this is a general approach, and please keep in mind, everything general is not specific to you, and everything not specific to you might differ. You know, situations differ, there's lots of variables, and somebody needs to look into this. But I want to give you an insight and inspire you to, to get your head around taxes, residency, and also I want to talk about a little bit about wealth, protecting your wealth. So first of all, how many tax residents do we have here? Who is tax resident somewhere? Wow, that's a lot. I think it's 90% or so. This is great. There is many ways. I mean, who likes to pay taxes? Okay, I don't see any hand. Yeah, we don't have Norwegians here or Swedish people. Ah, there's somebody. Well, taxes are a pain. What can we do? However, tax avoidance, I think, is not a great idea, to be honest. If you are very familiar with the system, if you know your way around, and if you follow this path, I think it's rather stressful, and I would not recommend it. I'm an advocate for tax residency. Choose your country, choose where you want to pay, but avoiding taxes, I think, is not an option, and especially because of this important note, okay? I know so many examples where people fall into this gap where they get a big bill afterwards, and it's usually 5 or 6 digits number if a government wants some back taxes from you. So be aware of that, okay? So who knows the difference between physical residency and tax residency? Yeah, okay, 50%. Or even more. Physical residency is basically is fixing your visa situation. It's like you're allowed into a country, in simple words. Whereas tax residency is the financial part of it. And e-residency, by the way, so if you have e-residency, that doesn't mean you are somehow allowed in the country or it does anything to your visa or allowance to stay in the country. So be aware of that. And if you want to move your tax residency, you have to exit, you have to cut ties to your home country. And I just want to create awareness around this, because if you exit a country, there is a procedure, and you need to follow this procedure very precisely. If you miss something in this process, this might fall back and bite you in the butt later on. So be very aware how to exit a country. Go to a CPA, ask an accountant, ask a lawyer how to do this properly, and make sure, if you are in this situation, make sure you cut ties properly. I know examples where they didn't do that properly and they had some, let's say, financial surprises later on. I think important to understand is to understand the risk and to do risk mitigation. So, you know, what are we talking about? Are you talking about €1,000 taxes per year, or are you talking about €1 million taxes per year? So, and how much risk would you take for the amount you can spare? So I think, you know, like keeping this in mind will be a good guidance in general. It's all about planning, basically, you know, financial planning, looking ahead. Because one thing, and this is very important, the problem is never now. The problem is always 5 or 10 years down the road. It's, you know, like as long as you're traveling, perpetual travelers and so on and so forth, you will never face the problem like right now. But when your situation changes, maybe you want to visit your parents or you overstay in another country or you miss the regulation or something like this, this is when push comes to shove. And the sooner you know, the sooner you inform yourself. And it's very important to inform yourself from an expert, ask experts, pay for it, and get it in writing. And that PDF, put it on in the cloud or somewhere, and make sure you have evidence of this. It's like general information, something you read on Facebook, something a friend tells you. This might be true for him, but your situation might be different, and this is where the problem comes from. I'm an advocate for tax residency, as I said. Choose your poison, as they say. So go to a country where you are happy with, and you will be fine. You have all these benefits, and you're taking part in the social benefits, and also it gives you the options for wealth protection if you want to invest into real estate or some other things. I mean, regulations depend a lot on country to country. It's never the same, and our situations are all different. Some people have a company in Estonia, US or elsewhere, so the situations always differ, so be aware of that. But the takeaway here is get informed, ask somebody, make sure you understand the system, you understand your situation, and you understand the bigger picture of it. As Christoph yesterday said, I don't see him in the audience. Here he is. He's an expert on this, but I liked what he said. He said taxes and insurance, they go hand in hand, and I totally agree with that. So just recently we had these two of my friends, they took a Superman on a bicycle and had an operation afterwards. The medical bill is around 50,000 euros. So, and it's not quite clear whether the insurance will pay or not, and how much, and da-da-da. So, you know, we don't know, you know, and I wish you all the best, and we all take care, and so on. But, you know, some of us, they like the adrenaline, and they like to do the wildlife, and anyways, so it's better to take precautions beforehand, and ask these guys, ask the experts, and they will tell you what is good for you in your situation. If you have an insurance, and very important, can I go back? Yeah. The difference between health and accident insurance, accidents, I think it's called also travel insurance. These are not the same, so make sure you understand the difference. Health insurance you can get if you pay social contributions, for instance. If you're a tax resident in Bulgaria, you get the EHIC card, the European Health Insurance Card, and you're covered basically in entire Europe, at least when it comes to health, but not for accidents. So there's a difference there, and make sure you understand the difference. Understanding your coverage and proactive preparation. That's key. So I'm not an insurance broker, I'm not a financial analyst, and I'm not a financial expert. So therefore, take all this with a grain of salt. But in any case, preparation is key. Get yourself informed and do it upfront rather than later, because in hindsight we all know better. But to avoid these financial pitfalls, I think insurances should be part of wealth protection and financial planning. So I think that's key. We never know the situations we are in. Our situation changes constantly. You know, like maybe you want to visit your parents, you stay longer for whatever reason, and then you might fall into a legislation that you didn't know before, or a legislation may change. So if you do your planning, make sure you revise that planning every year, because in the meantime, what you have learned like 3, 5, 10 years ago, that might not be true today anymore. So I think that's the takeaway here. Who of you have heard of FIRE? Oh wow, a lot. That's great. Awesome. FIRE, financial independence, retire early. There is lots of videos on YouTube online, there is books, and I know there are talks as well, probably also meetups. If you have the chance to grab the book or something like this, I'm not earning anything. I'm not an affiliate, but I think it's great to have some ideas how to do the planning and go forward with. Here's some practical options what you can do. Me personally, I can only speak about my experience. I like to invest into real estate. Gold is also good. And Bitcoin, I'm also a fan of. I love Bitcoin. Who of you is into Bitcoins or into coins generally? A few. Well, anyway, but you know, what I love the most is to invest into projects that I'm part of, or in projects that resonate with me, or in projects where friends of mine are part of. So these are the investments I really prefer. Yeah, so there's a lot of time left actually, but basically that was the quick introduction into taxes and insurance and wealth protection. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm here until Saturday. So please come and ask me anything. I'm happy to answer your questions. And yeah, other than that, you can always reach out to me if you take a shot from the QR code. Okay, I think we can open up to the questions.
Very nice, guys. Put your hands together for Uwe. Very nice. Now, what types of conversations would we have if I were to schedule a call with you, Uwe? What would we be talking about?
Most likely about taxes and how to spare and lower the tax. Yeah.
So you're saying we need to pay taxes, right?
I am an advocate of paying taxes because that means you get security, you get healthcare, you get benefits. If you're not paying taxes, the thing is, you know, you expose yourself to vulnerability. You expose yourself to probably a later financial pitfall. And the thing is, if you like adrenaline, if you like to run away, then it's probably for you to not pay taxes. But if you think, no, I don't like this adrenaline, at least not from that part of life, then better you pay taxes somewhere.
All right, very good. Let's jump into the questions. So, first question up, what are the benefits of a setup in Bulgaria?
Ah, very good question. So Bulgaria, especially for EU citizens, is very open, very easy. You come, everything is done in one day. I have one of the fastest residency services, and company information we can do with a POA, and you can travel, and you're all set, you know. First of all. Secondly, Bulgaria has only 10% tax, flat taxes, so which means that it's 10% profit tax basically. And if you want to take out money from your company, it's 5% dividend tax. So in comparison to the rest of Europe, this is rather okay, I would say.
All right, great benefits, very nice. Next question, what are the personal tax conditions in Bulgaria?
So I'm not sure who was asking this question. It depends from what citizenship do you have. But in Bulgaria, it's not a must to do the personal taxes if you do not have anything to declare. So that means if you run a company, you pay company taxes and you get a salary or dividends and and you pay taxes on this. However, if you don't have any other income, so because where you have tax residency, you should declare your worldly income. It means you might have companies elsewhere, or you get affiliates or whatever from elsewhere, which would go to your personal, to your private account, and that is something of personal taxes.
All right, okay.
10%, by the way. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Very good, very good. Which countries have no tax on dividends?
I honestly don't know.
Let's make one up.
But the thing is, I think, you know, like Dubai probably is very high on the list. I think Hong Kong is high on the list. I think Panama is high on the list. But be careful what you do and make informed decisions. That's the important thing. Understand the situation, understand this ecosystem, and navigate with care, okay? Ask professionals, ask experts. I can only tell you about Bulgaria, and maybe a little bit about Austria. But for other countries, you always have to ask an expert from the country you are aiming at.
All right, very good, very good. Next question. What's the best way to receive capital gain tax-free with NHR?
Very good, tax-free, yay. So NHR, I'm no expert of Portugal, so I just want to put it out there, but NHR allows you for the first 9 years, as far as I know, not to pay taxes on dividends, for instance. So you could have a company or LLC in the US, or you could have a company in Bulgaria, and the dividends you take out, you don't need to tax them in Portugal if you are under the NHR for the first 9 years. But also in a specific, there is a specific thing as well. So if you're the director or owner, that might not work either. So you have to be very specific in these parts. So please take care there, okay?
All right, very good. Lots of questions coming in. I'm actually going to remind the audience real quick. Just a reminder, you can always upvote these questions if you feel like one of the questions is one you definitely want to hear. Either way, I'm going to keep going. What is a good balance between the percentage of taxes and the services we get from a country?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer. You know, I think, you know, choose a country where you're happy with. If you know, I think I'm very happy with Bulgaria. I like Bansko, I like being there, even though I'm not there so much, and I prefer Bulgaria. But this is for the moment, okay? So maybe in 2 years' time, I love Portugal more. I don't know, okay? But the thing is, you have to be happy with what you pay and what you get, and I think what you get in Bulgaria is quite good. It's part of the European Union. It's not part of the Schengen though, so maybe for the Americans that can be a benefit. However, yeah, choose wisely, you know, but I don't like to pay taxes, but at some point we have to do. You know?
Exactly. Next question for you. What about countries where you don't have to pay taxes, Bahamas, etc.?
Well, as I said, I don't know too much about countries outside of Europe. And the thing is, it really depends on your situation. Ask somebody, ask an expert, a local expert who is living there, who knows his drill, and who can help you really with that. I would be very careful. However, have always the thing written in paper. This is the most important thing. So, for instance, in Bulgaria, you get a tax residency certificate if you are eligible for that, and I can explain you more about that. However, having this piece of paper is peace of mind. That's what it is, okay? So wherever you go, get this piece of paper that shows evidence, because when you go back or when you decide to do something different later on, and I know we have people in this audience, they are now facing exactly this problem. They try to do the perpetual traveler thing, and now they're in a situation, they get asked questions, they don't have good answers for that. It's tricky, you know, and this is already, you know, when push comes to shove, it's always tricky. The house is on fire, you don't know what to do, okay? So the further you look in advance, the better you prepare yourself, the better you inform yourself. I know it's not a sexy topic, but it's just you need to get your head around it once, and if your setup is solid, you will be fine, you know? And then you can always fall back to your accountant, ask him or her if something has changed, and you're fine, okay? So that's, I think, more important.
Very good, very good. Next question. Can we be a resident in multiple countries?
Definitely. So we distinguish between physical residency and
Tax residency.
Exactly. So physical residency, you can be in multiple countries. I'm physical resident in Austria and resident in Bulgaria. I can also get residency here, That's all easy. However, tax resident, you're in one country. That's the idea.
Yeah. So you can. The answer is yes, you can be a resident in multiple countries.
Physical resident.
Okay, you threw me off when you asked me that question. I was like, I had to get it right. Okay, perfect. You have to stay 6 months a year in Bulgaria, correct?
Well, yes and no. So it depends what you mean by that question. We have to get into more depth. But if you get the residency card, you have basically two options. One is you rent a place, another option is to buy a place, for instance. And if you buy a place, by law, you should be 3 months in the country per year. And if you rent a place, you should be 6 months in the country per year. However, no country in this world that gets your tax money will ever say anything. So not even Germany. So as long as you pay taxes, they are happy wherever you are. So there is no enforcement who looks into that. However, if you want to get the tax residency certificate, you have to be 6 months in the country for at least one period in order to get this certificate that will be your paper to be safe in the future. I hope this makes sense to you guys.
Very good. Just took time for a couple more questions here. Besides Bulgaria, which countries are you currently interested in as a good place to set up a company and individual taxes?
Very good question. I think Portugal is high on the list, but I think definitely, do you know how much inflation rate Germany had this year?
A lot.
Double digit, okay? Austria, same, many European countries. Do you know how much inflation rate Switzerland had?
Less.
2.5%. So Swiss, especially if you have some money on the side, I think Swiss can be a great option. Look into Switzerland.
Very good, very good. Next question. Portugal has 0% dividend tax on foreign income. Would you still have to pay 5% dividend tax in Bulgaria if the company is based there? You are a resident here.
Yes.
Simple answer. The answer is yes. All right, next question. What professionals should you contact to get informed?
So when it comes to Bulgaria, you can chat with me. I have a couple of lawyers and accountants at hand. However, I would go to, usually the best way is to go to an accountant, just because they are cheaper. And if you find a good accountant, if you can get a referral from your friend or so, like if you know the people, if you know they do a good job, then ask an accountant. CPA is the second best option, lawyer the third best option, and that's also, the pricing goes up,
Very good. All right, excellent. Last question here. Can you be a tax resident in Bulgaria and not spend there much time? Of course, we know this. Do you need to spend there 6 months plus? I think we know the answer to this question, yes?
Yeah, I touched on this already. So most of my clients are digital nomads. They travel a lot, and so as long as you pay taxes there, nobody cares, basically,
Very good. Thank you very much, guys. Give it up one time for Uwe. Very good. Taking an unsexy topic and making it sexy. Thank you very much, Uwe. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we have one more speaker for the day. So let's not waste a second so we can all jump into lunch. Guys, but I think you're going to be very excited about what's coming here. I do want to remind you, questions can be sent in during the session as well, so they're all queued up when the Q&A happens. Let's get right into it. Born to be global, our next speaker is the founder of How to Be Global. She is one of the preeminent names in digital, head of marketing and advocacy at both Nomad Skillshare and Nomad's Giving Back. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Sarah Rapp.
Hello, everyone. I feel like my biggest challenge is going to be staying in these 2 lines, so in case I don't, please just scream, okay? So hello, thank you for still being here in the last talk of the day in this auditorium. I see some tired faces, I see some excited faces, but today I love to hear the talks about taxes and insurances, which is everything very, very, very important. But today I would love to talk with you about networking, and especially how do we actually network? Because we're at a conference, we want to meet a lot of people, but how does this work? So, well, here's my claim. I'm global, who are you? Could be an opening. This quote is, I don't know who it comes from, but it's so close to my heart. And I gave this presentation a lot of times, and I especially gave it at the Thriving Nomad conference almost 2 years ago in the Canary Islands, and it changed from what I did there, because I figured that networking usually is always about the quantity. I'm like, I want to meet every single person in this room, and I need all the contacts, and I need to do this, 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 and this. And then you feel like full on overwhelmed because there's way too much stuff, way too many people. You don't know how to introduce yourself. You don't know, you don't want to have this awkward moment of silence where you're like, hi, I'm Sarah, and who are you? But honestly, this one, if you're not authentic, you promise something you can't deliver. So if you think about this, networking, I feel like, has this very business pitch negative vibe where you're like, okay, this is my one and only shot, and I need to put in my best face, my best pitch to actually get to the person and pitch, okay, I need whatever, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not your authentic self, you portray something which is not who you are. So for networking, I want you to close your eyes. Don't sleep, okay? This is the biggest challenge of the day. Close your eyes, don't sleep. If you think about networking, which words come to mind? And with your eyes closed, just shout them. Connecting. Giving back. Collaborating. Inspiration, yep. Sorry, what was that? Sharing. Okay. You need to scream a bit louder. Opportunities. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, now we lost half of the room. So there are two sides of networking. This is why I put it on this slide. So the one I was just portraying, which was obviously the much more negative vibes, as you've seen, like the FOMO of like, I need to meet every single person, and what if I didn't talk to this person? What if I did not talk to the sponsor, to this whatever? Then there's the awkward moment of silence where nobody knows what to do, and guess what? Everyone feels that, so it's not awkward in the end because everyone feels it. And sometimes it feels like a pitch competition, especially at conferences, because you try to show up for everyone else, so you try to make your best pitch. But what I loved what you're saying is that it's much more about the awkward moment of silence. Let's transform this into a curious mindset. The pitch competition, why don't we try to show up authentically and switch that into authentic connections? And for the FOMO, my number one thing is I want to have quality over quantity. So even if there's like 1,000 people, doesn't mean if I've talked to all the 1,000 people for 1 minute each, that's going to get me where I want to go. So, who am I? What am I doing? So this is very colorful and very bold, so welcome to my life. The reason why networking is so close to me is because I feel like my life, which I'm sure many of you can resonate, so this is why I love the digital nomad community is, I'm jumping from one bubble to the next. So I work in an international NGO, and I'm lead our global marketing and community building and events. So I'm on the go a lot, like everyone else here, but I'm always the one who's different. So I'm always going into like an existing group of people, an existing company, an existing network, and I'm always the one who jumps in. So by nature, I always have to be the one who's networking because I'm always the different one. I also have my own brand, what Derek said, How to Be Global, which is a podcast, scholarships, and other things which are on the slide here. And that's why I thought, why don't I share my learnings, especially while networking in a global environment when you are constantly the different one, because I'm sure a lot of you guys experience the same. This was the slide from 2 years ago, where I was like all on, okay, we have to have a pitch, everyone gets a personal pitch, everyone practices the pitch, and then everyone pitches the pitch. So this was me 2.5 years ago, but then a person who's, I don't think she's in the room, Maris, nope, she's not here, mindfulness entered my life. And then I'm like, okay, well, a personal pitch is still something good, but let's maybe reduce the whole competition and the whole we're going to pitch and everything needs to be on point. And so I reframed it now in your authentic intro. So this is a task. We're going to do a task. This is not only a keynote because we're networking, so it doesn't make sense for me to talk to you and you not talking to each other. So I want you get 2 minutes, in your head, come up with 1 or 2 sentences about yourself. And the goal is that you will have this sentence in your head when you go out there. I mean, it's day 2, so you might know all the people, but if you go to a new situation, especially with like not so much like-minded people, which you can kind of use to not have this awkward moment of silence, and you can just go in and just say the sentence. The sentences about yourself, they should spark interest. So what do you want to lead with? What do you want your new friend to ask you about? This is a very interesting piece because I feel like usually the intro is much more about the curiosity on like what the other person is going to ask rather than who you are at the end of the day. And obviously it should be memorable. Pick 1 or 2 things. They could be funny, unique, authentic to you. Okay, so you get 2 minutes to think about it. And then I want you to all get up and introduce yourself to 2 humans in the room, ideally the ones you have not talked to yet. Okay, so 2 minutes. I don't have a watch, but I'm going to stay over here. You can close your eyes. You can not close your eyes. You can write it down or just have it in your head. And then I'll give you a sign to get up, and then everyone mingles, finds 2 new people, and then we come back. Okay?
I'm keeping time.
Thank you.
One minute remains. Fifteen seconds.
Sorry, I didn't prepare fireworks or something like that.
3, 2, 1, time.
Okay, everyone get up. Everyone get up. Everyone's like, oh my God, now she makes us get up in the last session. Okay, you got another 2 minutes, so 1 minute per person. Derek, sorry, I gave you more tasks. Thank you. Okay, 3, 2, 1, find a new partner.
Very good, very good. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch.
All right, people, please switch. Please switch. Next partner. Next partner. Come on, this is
Switch it up.
here.
Switch it up. Switch, switch, switch. Stop looking into their eyes. Start looking into new eyes. Fresh eyes, everybody. 20 seconds. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go.
Okay. Hello, people.
All right, everybody.
Please take your seats. Okay.
Do that thing, Sarah, where everyone raises their hand and then everybody else matches your hand.
Anyone? Are we done?
We're
Okay.
done. Time's up.
Hey, people. Okay.
Time's up, time's up, time's up, everybody. Go have lunch together or something.
Perfect. So my goal of the presentation was that I'm useless up here when we did this. So I feel like mission accomplished. Thank you for speaking with your new partners. And here we are. See, the awkward moment of silence was gone just by actually approaching someone. And obviously this was like a very artificial setup where I said, you have to talk to someone. But I feel the first night when I was here, someone said, oh yeah, I'm actually not that much of an extrovert. And it's really like, you know, in these big groups, I'm always, you know, on the side. I feel like most of the people are like this. I was certainly like this when I was in school, which, you know, now nobody believes me that I was the shy kid in the corner, didn't say a word, and now everyone's like, oh my God, when is she finally, you know, shut up. So I have 2 questions for you now. And first question is, can someone share their 2 sentences with us publicly? Yes. Just shout. I think we can hear you. There you go. Thank you. There was one more hand over here. Yep. Oh, you go third. Yep. Yes, please. There you go. See, what she did is really brilliant because she actually said something which is not so common. So now my response would be like, this is really cool. What do you mean by that? So, and this is everything what that is. Your authentic intro is just to put a spark in it. And I want us to get rid of this fear of like, I need to put every single thing I can and I do and I represent, and I also don't represent in the first 2 sentences what I do, because honestly, it's much more to spark the creativity and the curiosity in the other person. Next one. Thank you. Anyone else? Yep, all the way in the back.
I'm a professional photographer providing authentic photographs of digital nomads and entrepreneurs. Yeah, I pride to provide pictures with authenticity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next question, number 2. Can someone share something memorable you heard from the person you talked to? I hope now this works. I'm like, well, if this doesn't work, the whole thing, but hey, you know, like someone. Yep.
I'm going to bring you this microphone. Is that okay?
Thanks, Derek. Derek didn't know that he's fully included in my talk, so thank you.
I talked to this very interesting lady here to my right who said she empowers Gaelic women.
Wow.
No. Not hers. I found it very interesting, like a very niche kind of, you know, Gaelic women she empowers.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else?
Henriette packages things for a living. I've never met a packaging engineer before, so I thought that was a great way to make my way through the world. I like the sound of that. Well, 'cause I'm terrible at packing.
Thank you. Someone else?
Don't be shy. Ah, there we go. Don't worry.
Oh.
Patricia, I'm going to give you this microphone. Enunciate, enunciate.
My name's Patricia. I'm actually Portuguese, but I have a weird accent because I've lived all over. I'm based in Lisbon. I love people, so I remember James. I remember he's from the Netherlands. I better be right, because I need sugar. And you're Luca from Switzerland. So that's what I remember, mostly.
Perfect. That's a great, thank you for saying this, because this was actually my next thing. The most important thing, which I didn't mention, I hope everyone did, is you have to mention your name, right? And ideally, I'm also terrible at remembering names. You, as the receiver of the hi, I'm whoever, repeats the name. I'm sure we all know this rule, and none of us does it, and we all forget the names at the end of the day. So just keep in mind to kind of repeat the names. All right, so the talk is called How to Network in a Global Environment. So I give workshops a lot to companies and groups of people who are not necessarily as global as this group is, right? But I always have like 4 learnings, which I think are universal, and I think they're very good as a repetition. I'm sure you've heard all of them, but I wanted to make sure that I put them here. So the first one is replace your assumption and stereotypes with curiosity. So if you go out there, and obviously everyone has stereotypes and assumptions, that's just how it goes, right? You can't get rid of them, even though, I wish I also did not have them. But instead of being like, oh, isn't this and this like this here, right? You could be like, oh, cool, I heard this, I was curious if you actually do it this way. You see how it goes? Especially in the networking area, when you talk to someone, you never know where they're from. I feel like the question where you're from in this group is anyway, funny, because you're like, well, so here we go. I was born here, and then I live here, but I come from here, and maybe tomorrow I'm somewhere else. The next thing is, very universal, is reset your normal when interacting internationally. So when I give workshops, I always picture a cloud. So when you sit in the airplane, everyone loves the clouds, and they look so fluffy. So when we go into meetings, because I work with all kinds of different people who are not necessarily used to working in an international environment, I'm always like, okay, everyone goes up on the cloud. So this is a safe space for all of us. So everything we know is not gone, but we need to quickly reset on like what we want to achieve and how we want to work together or talk together. Obviously, respect everyone for who they are. And last one is my favorite. Remind yourself that there's no right or wrong, it's just different. My colleagues, my friends, everyone I act with, they are like totally annoyed because, if someone gets to know, I'm like, no, but I think this is wrong, and then it's me from the back. Hey, there's no right or wrong, it's just different. So I hope this will be ingrained in your brain, especially when you interact with everyone here, because sometimes there might be things which I fundamentally disagree, but this does not mean that they're actually wrong in the world. So I want to leave you with this. If you're not authentic, you promise something you can't deliver. And this is honestly where mindfulness helped me a lot to find out who I am. Not sure if I know. I feel like nobody knows at any point in their life. But aligning with yourself and just showing up authentically and not trying to actively pitch yourself, but just to be like, hey, I'm this person, and just add a fun twist to it will make life so much easier in whatever context, if you're pitching your business, if you pitch yourself, if you're in a group of friends, or if you come in a totally new group. So with that, as a last thing, I have a podcast, and you guys are all incredible humans. So I'll send in the WhatsApp group a link. I would love to interview, every single one of you, so let's see how many years that's going to take. But if you're interested in becoming a guest, I would love to feature you and show the world what great talent is in the room. So thanks, everyone.
Give it up for Sarah, everybody. Very nice. That's great, Sarah. We're going into questions now, Sarah. And I'm actually going to ask you a question. Is my introduction authentic enough? Here I go, all right? It's, hi, I'm Derek Smith. I'm an event host, coach, and master of ceremonies, and my business is about making mistakes. Does that pique your interest?
It's great. I'm like, okay, tell me all about the mistake.
We'll have lunch later. Okay, perfect. Let's jump into your questions, okay? How do you go about creating this pitch if you're a neo-generalist, eternally curious person that struggles to stick with one label?
I mean, I feel like this describes me very well. I'm like, oh, great. Perfect. So, great question. So obviously everyone is all about, you have to focus on one thing, and then there's your niche. I agree if you obviously want to make a lot of money in a business and you need to know your target audience. But with, on the slide where you saw my face and setup.global, which PS should have been the website today, which I presented, but here we go, it's not ready, next week. This is a way of how I personally try to combine everything I do into one hub. So obviously I work for the international NGO, which is all about entrepreneurship on one hand. Then I have my podcast, then I have scholarships in Ghana, then I do workshops, then I do whatever, and everyone's like, what the heck are you doing? So I try to find like the one thing which connects everything I do, which honestly is global. Because whatever I do, it has something to do with people from other countries and cultures. So that's why I'm like, well, I'll create a hub on setup.global, and then everybody, you know, whoever I talk to in the different areas, they just come to the hub. And if they're also interested in how to be global, that's cool. But if they're not, that's fine. So this is kind of a way for me to kind of categorize the things. And then I just pick and choose whatever topic I think is most fitting for the audience. That's
very cool. Awesome. Excellent. All right, next question. Can you suggest a tool and or method to keep and preserve the connections you made in a sustainable way? Like you find them again when you put in a keyword. I think that's what the word is.
Keyword? Great question. So that's obviously the hardest. I feel like we probably all share the same pain of we meet all these cool people and we're never in one place. But for me, it feels like that my entire life is remote. So my family is not where I am. I live a totally different place. And also my friends are very remote. But instead of, when I walked away from this, like, I even, you know, no, I think it's hilarious. I even had in my bio, I'm a networkaholic. So my brain went like, what on planet did I even think about that? But when I walked away from this, like, I just want to meet all the people and it makes sense to, I want to make like genuine connections and like connect with people, and you know, you feel the vibe with the person, then it's so much easier to keep contact with them. And even if you don't talk to them for like a month to 6 months, and then you see them again, like for example, Gonzalo's a perfect example. We, you know, don't talk every day, not even every month, but here we are. It feels like we've been, you know, working together for a long time. So this is one, and I think what helps me a lot is I share a lot on Instagram, on my stories. Also now, very authentically, I'm like, well, so if you follow me, you get a mix of everything, right? There's no filter. And then this is how I actually connect with a lot of people because they answer or see their stories because I'm on my own a lot of the times. This is what I do to kind of keep the world updated. And, you know, someone who wants to watch it, they watch it, and the people who don't, they just don't.
Very nice. Good. Next question for you. Don't we, humans in general, base our introduction too much in what we do professionally?
100%. I still have that thing, right? And what I'm currently doing is trying to get away from, I'm Sarah, and I work here, which is normal, right? Because this is how we are defined. Onward to like, hey, I'm Sarah, and I'm a global human, whatever. Or I'm global, who are you? Just like as a fun thing, because then people are like, oh, really? What does that even mean? Like, funny if I even have a tattoo, global human, to remind myself. But I totally agree. And I feel like even in the very business, corporate-y world where I also operate a lot, people are just trying to like be someone they're not. They're like, yeah, you have this role of whatever, even if you're the Pope. Like, who are you as a person? And I think if we, as I feel like digital nomads, start to introduce ourselves differently, I feel like it's a slow process, but things will change. And then because nobody's interested in like your role, and then I'm a lawyer and whatever, that's great, but this is not the core of the person. So if we start it, you know, we're from a lot of countries, so we can start a ripple effect.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I find a lot of people also will present what they took in school as like their identity. You know, like I took psychology, so that's me. It's like, come on, man, you're more than that. And so I think that's it. Just sort of identifying what you're offering now. And to that person who asked the question about sticking to one label, it's just like, I think in this day and age, you can rebrand yourself every 6 months if you want to. Like, it's like whatever makes sense now. You know, I think it just informs us. So, how do you solve approach anxiety. Do you ever have to solve this yourself?
Yes. So the person who asked the question, like general anxiety or anxiety of like big groups, is that in the context of networking or generally?
The question was anonymous.
Like, was Mr. or Mrs.?
And so let's just say it was me, and the answer
Okay.
was general.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I had big time anxiety. So I had 3 full-on mental breakdowns with months of not being able to talk to anyone, like medication, the full deal. And back to, I'm giving credit to Maris, you will hear her tomorrow. Mindfulness really helped me, and I was, when I was at the event in the Canary Islands, I was like, what is this universe thinks people are sitting in Bali not doing anything for the world? I don't understand what this is. So now I'm like, oh, every morning I'm writing journal, I'm doing my meditation. So honestly, what really helped me is trying to get to the core of what the triggers are. Because obviously anxiety starts when there are triggers. But if you never actually acknowledge what the trigger is, and it's not easy to find out what the trigger is, it could be something totally different. So obviously I did therapy, and I do a lot of mindfulness, a lot of writing, and a lot of trying to figure out what are the things that bug me or trigger me, and then try to let them go or find patterns to then react in a different way. And also, because I'm a total extrovert, but I also now realize that I need a lot of space myself. So kind of going out of big groups at a certain point and just, be by myself, even as an extrovert, is very needed, and that I need to load on my own batteries, because if I don't have them, nobody can benefit from them as well.
Absolutely, definitely. Got a few more questions here. When can we join your next networking event?
I love this question.
Thank you.
Because there will be some in the future. This is actually on the pipeline. When you saw like events and whatever, I would love to create more experiences instead of like this, bringing people together on various different topics. So there will, next year, for sure, there will be some. I can tell you when and where. But if you want to collaborate, if you have a location, I have like people with hotels and whatever. So I would love, love, love to bring multiple different groups together from different industries. It doesn't have to be digital nomads whatsoever, but thank you for the question.
Very good, very good. Next question for you. How do you avoid boring conversations with logistical questions? Where are you from? How long you stay here? Where will you go next? Etc.
Yeah. I think you change the narrative, right? Because I feel like it's such a default. We just do it because, why are we doing it? It doesn't even make sense. It's like the classic questions. So you're in charge. So with this intro, which is maybe fun, a bit different, whatever, like something hilarious, then you're already changing the thing, and then you can even make a joke on like, let's skip all the logistical questions on where you're from, what you do, but I want to know, do you have a pet? I know, just making this up. But I feel like us taking the ownership of this will help so much, and especially because the other person probably has the exact same feeling of like, oh my God, these questions, but okay, let's go through them. Totally. And I don't think anyone likes these questions. So if you just be like, hey, I know they're annoying, so let's talk about this. This will already help it. It's just a small switch in the brain.
For sure, for sure. And again, how can we collaborate implies, well, what do you do? Or how can I help you? So how can we collaborate always helps. One of the hard parts of approaching is the idea of how to get out in a natural way. If it's awkward, not interesting, etc. How do you approach? Make an excuse?
Yeah. I would always address the elephant in the room. But that's authentic to me, right? So here we go. When I go in, I'm like, see, this is what I said in the beginning, because I knew I'm going to be like this. And then, So I just literally said, I'm like, this is my hardest challenge. And here we go. I'm like, oh.
You mean staying in the lines? Is that what you mean?
Did I? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, did I stay in the No, just address the elephant in the room. If you want to approach someone, it's like, hey, just like address them like, this might be awkward, but I would love to ask you this question, or just say it out loud, because the other person feels the same way. And I don't think there are a lot of people out there who will be like, well, sorry, now you said an awkward question. I'm for sure not going to answer it to you. This is like, it takes a bit, but if you throw yourself out there in these different bubbles, then you see how people actually react much better to it. And then at some point, it's the easiest thing to like,
very good.
just go in and say, hey.
Yeah, lots of questions here, so I'm just going to keep going. We all believe we should see you doing your introduction to Derek as a return favor. We all believe. On behalf of Anonymous, we all believe we should see you doing your introduction to Derek as return favor. On behalf of Derek, I agree.
I'm like, hold on, is this some sort of someone wants to match us up here?
I think that's what's happening,
I'm
yes.
like, so hi there.
Yeah, nice to meet you, yeah. How can we collaborate? Yeah.
I'm like, Gonzalo and I, we were talking about Nomad Tinder, so I'm like, Gonzalo, was that you kind of like infusing the...
Hold off on that thought for a second. I'm going to get another question out here, okay? How do you meet the right people for you in a big conference?
Great question. Great question. So what I'm trying to do, coming back to like the more mindfulness approach, instead of running into a room, which I did before, and just talk to every single human, because that's what I did, I'm like observing people. I'm not stalking you, but you can sense, like there's always vibes between people, so this is very universal. So if you're not in the spiritual thing, you're like, what's you talking about? I'll come back in a second. But just to kind of maybe feel the vibe on like, oh, this seems like this group, and this is a bit of here, and then like, I just slowly approach people now instead of actually going full in and like not even reading the room and trying to understand if the person is even open. And then slowly, when you meet one person, then this person says, oh, by the way, if you say something, oh, I'm into yoga, then you're like, oh, did you meet this person who also does yoga? So always throw in either your values or your interests, and then it happens naturally to like find your tribe in the conference. And I mean, if there's one person who's not your person, well, then
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Of course, there's also the opportunity for you guys all to just get the stage effect. If you do have something interesting to share, try to find yourself as a speaker. It's a great way to just spread your business card to everybody instead of simply just waiting to shake hands at the big event afterwards. I'm going to do one last question for you, then we're going to let you get going. How do you stay in touch with so many connections?
Yeah, I let go of this, to be honest. I let go of the belief that I have to and can stay in touch with every single person. I feel like there it's back to your people, because your people will stay with you, right? Some people are just people who you meet, and then if you meet them again, it's great, but they're not necessarily people who are in your life. And also in the beginning, I was constantly sad that, oh, but imagine this person. Then I tried to like hang on to it, and then the only thing I did throughout the day was texting people and then trying to, you see where this goes? So I try to stay away from missing people and being sad, because as digital nomads, I mean, we have the incredible privilege, I mean, we all know that we're very privileged in this room, to if we want to see someone, we just go where they are, or we just call them and then you meet up with them. So instead of trying to stay in touch with everyone, I'm embracing the ones which come like natural and stay natural, rather than trying to actually grab every single thing, because then you find yourself in this like very negative bubble of like, oh my God, I'm missing out on everything, versus when I see them, it's going to be great. And maybe it develops over time.
Very good. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sarah Rabb. Very nice. All right, guys, you know what's coming up next. It is almost lunchtime. Of course, I would not be doing the entire fest any favors if I don't bring up the hot topic on everyone's mind, which, of course, is fish galore. That's right. That's all they have told me it is called, but there's a Portuguese name for it, so I'm just going to get Gonzalo to holler it out right now. Yeah, we can see the picture, but how do you pronounce it? One more time. Everybody who can say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, Thursday night, guys, this is what we're going to be eating. If you have just found your way to Portugal for the first time, or if you're coming back, everybody wants to get their hands on that. You guys can still book your spot for Thursday right now. Go into the app, click on it. We are encouraging you guys to fill up those spots today, so that way we can make the reservation for tomorrow. So thank you very much for that, guys. Coming up after this, it is now lunchtime. We will all be meeting at the Inatel Beach at 3 p.m. We are going to be talking about how to have an impact. Then at 4 p.m., it's the Nomad Community Panel. From the communities throughout the Algarve will be there on that panel. And at 5 p.m. today, it's NHR and the Portuguese Nomad Visa round table. But I know a lot of you guys, assuming you have the stomach for it after last night, 7 p.m. tonight, it is the wine tasting event, 7 p.m., guys. You are all invited to take part in that event tonight, so make sure you check the schedule, find out where that is. I do want to give a quick shout out once again to Nomads Insure for not only sponsoring today's event, but also providing us with some great prizes. If you guys are curious about what's happening on Saturday when it comes to the cliff jumping adventure, I want you to reach out to Christoph. He is here in the room, and he will be able to tell you what's going on Saturday. Other than that, guys, that is the end of the morning session. We will see you guys at 3 p.m. down at the beach. Thank you very much to our speakers. Thank you very much to you guys. And again, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
My name is Christoph. My team and I are digital nomads and experts for global health insurance. As insurance brokers, we are experts on your side. That means we help to assess your risk in the right way. Then we will find the proper solution from the global market. As a digital nomad, you don't know in the morning who's going to shave you in the evening. And in case you have issues with your insurance company during the duration of the contract, we help you to enforce your interests towards the insurance company. As a digital nomad, you never know where you wake up next morning.